Hello, Holliston, and welcome to Comedian Field in Holliston, Massachusetts on Saturday, September 21st for Sportview's award-winning production of Holliston Panther football for 2019. It's only found on HCAT TV. Today, the Panthers will host the 2-0 Barnstable Red Raiders of the Division II South Cape and Islands Atlantic Division. My name is Brian Winston, alongside my co-host, the legend, Jay Wyman. Jay, Barnstable going to be a challenge today for the Holliston Panthers. They had a huge win against Powerhouse Bavarian last week using a powerful smash-mouth style of football. They've got a supersized offensive line. What do you think the Panthers need to do today to combat that size and a lot of confidence after last week's win?
Well, there's a couple things they're going to have to do. The first thing they're going to have to do is when you get a chance to tackle. Make sure to tackle very well. The other thing you're going to have to do is no turnovers. The big thing you have to do when you get against a team like this is that what you want to do is you want to get a lead, because you don't want a team that runs and plays smash-mouth football to control the clock and control the play. So if Holliston get out in front, get a couple possession leads, get them where they're a little less uncomfortable with, like in a passing situation, then they'll be, then it'll be different. But this team can pass too. The quarterback doesn't pass that much, but he's a pretty efficient passer. So they got their job cut out for today. But so does Barnstable, because Barnstable has never played a team, I don't think, that has this much speed.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Jay. The clock management today is going to be a major factor, and temperatures, it's going to be a little warmer than usual. Let's take a pause here for our national anthem. So we're just about ready for kickoff, and now it's time for our check-in with Carlos Canto, our super statistician.
Thanks,
and
Brian.
with the Lowe's pregame lowdown.
Thanks, Brian. This is the middle game of a 3-game homestand to open up the season for the Holliston Panthers, and that's good news because the Panthers have an excellent home winning percentage. They're 50-8 at Comedian Field since 2001. That's 11-1 in the playoffs as well. That's good for about an 85% home winning percentage. So, to open up the season with 3 games at home is definitely an advantage for these Holliston Panthers. The temperature and weather on the field, a very warm 71 degrees, bright sunshine, just an absolute perfect day for some football.
Thanks, Los. And Holliston will be receiving to start the football game here on a gorgeous Saturday morning here in the new autumn season. I believe today the first, the autumn equinox, I believe today.
It's today, all right.
Jay. Deep for Holliston, number 24. That is Mitchell Gimlet, who, what a football game he had last week. And this is number 11, Christian Schneelock, who will receive the kick. He's up the middle, gets some good blocking, cuts through, stays to the right side, still on his feet, and then brought down at about the 36-yard line. So good start for the Panthers, Jay, and special teams.
Yeah, good start. And one of the things you want to do here, as I said, you want to score early. You want to get the key number of possessions here is at least 2. You want to keep at least a 2-possession lead as much as you can. Now, obviously, the first thing you do is get a 1-possession lead. But you want to get a 2-possession lead. You want to use your speed out there, but you're facing a very, very good defense. This defense held Bavarian to only 14 points. So, and that's the only point scored against them this year, as they shut out Braintree last week.
And the Panther offense led by quarterback Matt Arvanitis, who had a fantastic start to his season last week. He was 11 for 11 passes, 160 yards. And here he is looking deep, actually over the middle, and it's complete. Just across midfield, the ball comes loose, but he is down. That is the reception by number 2, senior Topher Ryan. So right on cue, there's Arvanitis.
Yeah, and right on the bat, what you want to watch today is you want to watch, this is a line of scrimmage game. This is a game that's going to be won or lost at the line of scrimmage, and Holliston did a nice job, that offensive line, of giving Arvanitis some time.
So 16 yards on the completion, 1st and 10 now into Red Raider territory. Ball marked at about the 48. Arvanitis lone back is Benson. He gets the handoff, big hole up the middle, and he's still on his feet to the right side. First down. Well, just about at the marker. Fantastic run. So the Panther offense finding balance, and that's what happened last week, Jay. In their game, they had a pretty balanced offensive attack, 446 yards last week, 240 in the air and 206 on the ground.
Yeah, again, it's that defense, the offensive line for Holliston and Benson. We've talked about him, and we talked about Dylan Ibbotson and how the two of those backs just play off of each other so well. They're so good, great balance, great cutback speed. It's something that I'm not sure that Barnstable has faced yet this year.
And Barnstable has, as we mentioned in the opening, quite some size on the line. Maybe you can see if you're looking at your screen now. Number 10, Colby Burke, weighing in at 230 pounds, 6'1" senior. Number 68, Alex Saladino. He's a captain, a senior. He's 6'1" at 305. And also Declan Moriarty, number 73, a captain, a senior captain. He is 6'4" and 300 pounds. So not sure what they're feeding the boys down in Barnstable. I know there's some great seafood down there, but a lot of protein in that seafood. So anyways, it'll be second and short. They're marking it. Looks under a yard. We'll call that a chain link. And as you mentioned, Jay, Dylan Ibbotson, he's in the backfield now with Arvanitis in shotgun. 2nd and 1, 2 receivers left.
And every play is open here if it's second and short like this at this position in the field.
Wide left, Brian Gary, number 5, a short screen to Ibbotson. First down and out of bounds. So nice play there. Again, mixing it up. They've gone over the middle for a pass. They've run to the right. Now we see a little screen to the left.
And a couple things you want to do if you're a coach, especially an offensive coach, is you want to kind of see how they're going to play different situations and how they're going to play against the pass and where they're going to go. And, can our speed to the outside beat their speed to the outside? And if it can, we'll just keep going outside.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 31. Panthers looking crisp here very early, though, first quarter. 10:50 left in the first quarter. And it'll be a defensive offsides as the cadence by Arvanitis gets the senior captain Burke to jump off sides. So that'll shorten the first down distance to a 1st and 5 now, and the ball moved up to about the 26-yard line.
And it's these mistakes, that neither one of these two teams can make, especially as they're feeling each other out, because, you don't want to give Holliston 1st and short in this position in the field, because once again it opens up all kinds of possibilities out of your playbook.
So 1st and 5, Ibbotson in the backfield. Wide receiver on each end. Fake to handoff. Arvanitis keeps it. Gets some block. He's out to his right. Stonesfeet cuts back into the middle and losing his balance but falling forward for a first down. So, as you mentioned, Jay, the mistakes. These are two good football teams. The Panthers at Max Preps have ranked them number 11 in the state of Massachusetts. And Barnstable, the Boston Globe has them ranked 6th after that big win last week.
You look at Matt Arvanitis, and he can really throw the ball very well, but he's also a tremendous athlete, all-around athlete. He's got great speed, great balance, and you saw it there, a nice run.
1st and 10 now. Ball inside the 15. Handoff to Benson up the middle, gets a few. Up still on his feet. Looked like he was going to go down. Maintain balance there. That's, again, Benson keeps the shoulders running forward, downfield, and as you mentioned last week, great balance.
And a lot of times what you'll see as he's going down, he has that ability to put his hand on the ground, which will allow him to pick up 3 or 4 or 5 more yards.
So some substitutions for the Panthers. Among many, that's Ryan Cahill, number 56, a senior, checking into the game on the offensive line. Benson in the backfield. Gary wide left. 2 receivers right. The handoff is to Benson, and not much happening there as he has hit with the hind at the line of scrimmage there by a lot of weight there. Again, that Barnstable line is going to do their best to push around our Panthers.
Well, they got some 300-pounders there, but the thing is, Holliston, first of all, they lift weights. Holliston's strong. They're not big, but they're strong. The other thing is, with Coach Perry, and, they teach them some good techniques, too, and you can double guys, you can open holes. And the other thing, all you have to do with these backs is a quick open. If you open it, they'll hit the hole quickly, so you don't have to maintain that block too long.
So 3rd in a long one. Ball at about the 5-yard line. Big play here early in this game. 8.5 minutes to go first quarter. It's a fake. Arvanitis rolls out to the left. He's got a couple guys open. He decides to keep it. First down, and he's in for the touchdown. Touchdown Panthers at the 8:17 mark, and they will go up 6-0 What a fantastic drive to start this football game, Jay.
Well, let me tell you these names right now. Burchard, Athey, Cahill, Griffin, and O'Connell. That offensive line just really controlled that defensive line right there. I said earlier, and we'll be talking a lot about this today, controlling the line of scrimmage. Holliston did it there. And if they can control the line of scrimmage with the speed and athleticism in their backfield, they're going to have a pretty good day.
This is number 4, the senior captain, Connor Mulvaney, right-footed kicker for the extra point, and that is a beautiful kick. Strong leg there. Mulvaney gets the extra point. It's 7-0 Panthers. And, last week probably, a big win and not a very challenging win against Bishop Feehan. I think they won 44-14. But the one flaw in the Panther game last week, penalties. So great start for them right now.
Exactly. The other thing, too, is that we say this a lot, this team, and, of course, Barnstable kind of does the same thing, but Holliston, year after year after year, they have wins that are so big it almost seems easy. But it's not easy. I mean, these kids are out there, and it's tough. I mean, that drive right there was a nice drive. No long passes, no extra long runs, 64 yards. But they control the line of scrimmage, and they can do that. And they play Holliston does a really good job of doing that. And it's almost like watching, you're probably a little young for this, the old days, watching Willie Mays play the outfield. It just looks so easy, but it's not easy,
Would have loved to have seen Willie Mays play live. But back to football here. This is number 23. That is Nick Cotting, the sophomore, kicking off. Ball is fielded at about the 15. So a good kick by Cotting and great special teams coverage by the Panthers as looked like number 56. That is Ryan Cahill was in on the tackle with a few others. I see off the field here in front of us. Looks like 55, Zach Athey, might have rolled an ankle or has a foot injury here in front of us off to the side. Hopefully he'll be able to get back into the game. But here comes the Barnstable Red Raider offense. They are led by quarterback number 8. This is Nick Wilson, a senior. He's a first-year starter for them. And against Bavarian last week, he was 6 of 11 for 128 yards. Had a TD and an interception. And he also ran the ball. Not for many yards, though, but he did run 11 times. So let's see what the Panther defense can do here, Jay.
This is they're going to run out of kind of like a war offense that we run.
And it's a handoff to their big fullback. Maybe 2 yards on that carry. That was number 10 for the Red Raiders, Colby Burke.
Well, Burke's a big boy, and he's the type of guy that when he's that big and that solid a runner, and he gets behind that offensive line, that's a pretty good thing. Now Holliston did a great job of tackling right there, and that's what they're going to have to keep doing.
Sophomore Eugene Jordan in the backfield for the Red Raiders, and it looks like a timeout for Holliston. So maybe Coach Kiley, Coach Athey saw something there that they needed to discuss with the boys.
Well, what happened was Holliston was one guy short, and he was running onto the field, didn't get himself set. So what Holliston wanted to do is, you can't fool around with these guys in the white here. So what Holliston wanted to do is make sure that they get their defense is set, because this is a big down right here. If they can hold them here, a couple downs and make them punt and get the ball back, that's going to be a big deal for the Holliston.
Yeah, it'll be 2nd and 8, 7-0 Panthers. 7:38 to go in the first quarter.
And in Holliston, Brian has the great linebacking core too. They really do. That front line, those front three in the line did a great job against Bishop Feehan, and that linebacking core is good. They're fast, they're quick, and they're good tacklers.
And he's talking about David Harding, number 51. Number 4 is in on that crew, Connor Mulvaney as well, among others. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Red Raiders. The ball is at, looks like about the 32-yard line. Again, number 34, Jordan in the backfield for the Red Raiders.
This is the first time all year that Barnstable's been behind, too.
Handoff to Jordan, running left, and does not get much. He is stacked up there, met by a couple of Panthers. That was number 32 on the tackle. That is junior Kevin Lyons. And, Jay, well, you dialed that one up because that was a gain of maybe a yard, and so 3rd and long.
Right, and what you want to do, as I said earlier, this team is like 3 yards in a cloud of dust team, like the good old days. And I'm not saying that the quarterback Wilson can't pass, because he actually is pretty efficient when he does pass, but a lot of times he doesn't. So you kind of get him. that's an area where they might quite not be as comfortable. And that's what you want to do, is force a team in a place where they're not too comfortable.
So big number 10 in the background as a disguise, and the Panthers are not buying that fake at all. 3 or 4 Panthers in the backfield, led by number 9, Timmy Aylward, and 21, Tristan Benson.
Well,
and 22, I think, Dylan Ibbotson in on that play. So fantastic defense and forcing a punt here.
But the guy that did his job on that play right there is Connor Mulvaney. What Connor did, he was able to turn him back inside towards his other teammates and let them make the tackle. Very nicely done by Connor Mulvaney on that play.
Your Panther deep to receive is Christian Schneelock, number 11, and he's along with Gimlet, number 24, who returned a kickoff last week for a touchdown. Here's the punt. Decent punt. It'll hit the ground and bounce and take a Red Raider bounce, and the Panthers will stay away from that ball. That just causes trouble getting near a bouncing ball like that. So Panthers will get the ball at the 20. So defense looks great to start, Jay.
Looks great. 6:24 left to go in the first quarter. Holliston up 7-0. And the defense did their job. And you know what happens? You know, we've all kind of heard all week about the size and the capabilities of what Barnstable can do, and you get out there as a player, you know, and maybe a little sick of hearing about it, but you're not sure as a player, right? You get out there, you played sports, you're not sure as a player how it's, and then you get out there and say, well, we stopped them. You take that confidence level. You give this team in red even more confidence. They're going to be a tough team to stop.
And we could see just based on that first drive, they had a little trouble keeping up with our potent Panther offense. So Arvanitis again leading the crew. Number 6, your quarterback, Benson in the backfield. Wide left, number 3, Teddy Radcliffe. Arvanitis hands to Benson. He runs right side. Not much happening there. Maybe a yard or two.
Nice job there by the Barnstable defense.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Maybe 2nd and 9, somewhere right around there. Ball is at the 20, just about the 21-yard line. Benson last week, 7 rushes for 76 yards and a touchdown. And he's in the backfield again. Arvanitis in the shotgun, tight formation here. Handoff to Benson right, cuts back middle, and he is met there by number 44 for Barnstable, and that is Michael O'Shaughnessy, the junior. So 3rd and long here, Jay, for the Panthers.
Yeah, 3rd and about probably a long 4. Yeah, but again, you know, Holliston can open up. They're just kind of feeling this thing out. They're trying to see what their offensive line can do. If their offensive line can keep control of the game like they did in that first drive, Barnstable's in trouble.
And a tight formation here for Holliston. One wide right, and Ibbotson in the backfield. Maybe a little deception here, and there it is. Play action. Arvanitis doesn't really have anybody open. Still scrambling to his right. And that might have been one of the best results there that could have happened. But
there is a flag,
down.
You know, sometimes that's a block in the back or something. Sometimes when there's a scramble like that, we'll see.
Maybe a lineman downfield too can happen on those types of plays. So let's see what
it looks like a block in the back.
So this will go against Holliston. I got to credit Barnstable there with a, you know, as they say, a coverage sack or a coverage incompletion, and then the bonus of the penalty. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Well, they should absolutely decline it and get the ball back.
And it looks like that is what's going to happen, Jay, as now the special team substitutions occur. So Barnstable, much different defensive outcome for them, and the one they were hoping for, and not so much for Holliston, as their offense is stifled there on 3 plays.
Well, Barnstable had to do something, and they did. They came up big against Holliston there. But the other thing you got to remember is, you know, Holliston it was a 3rd and like I said, maybe a long 4. That's not a bad situation to be in if you get almost 6 yards in the first 2 downs.
Punting for Holliston, number 2, the senior Topher Ryan, and the ball will bounce just in front of midfield, take a little bit of a Panther bounce, rolls into Red Raider territory, so just exactly at the 40-yard line is where Barnstable will take over. So a short field for Barnstable, Jay. Got to see what the Panthers D can do here.
Yeah, 4:42 left to go in the first quarter. Barnstable's not going to change anything right now. They've been very successful in what they've been doing so far this year. So they're nowhere near a point they're going to change anything. They're going to come back and challenge Holliston again on the ground.
Panther defense last week only allowed 188 yards total, and this one is a big run up the middle, and this is number 34 who is brought down on a beautiful tackle by number 24, Gimlet, a touchdown-saving tackle, I think.
Yeah, it was.
34. That was Jordan, broke through the middle, and he would have been gone. Fantastic tackle by Gimlet.
Did you see I talked a little bit about the confidence in Holliston? Well, now what happens here is that Barnstable maybe had thought, well, what's going on here? But now they're right back into it.
Big play for them, and that was a 28-yarder. Here's play action, and the quarterback looking over the middle. This is Wilson. He's scrambling right. He's going to take off and run out of bounds. Oh, and that was a
there's a flag.
Late hit.
It is.
There is a flag there. As
flag came down.
And some emotion here on the sidelines for the players.
Yeah, that's not a play. That really hurt Barnstable right there.
Yeah, this will send them backwards. Should send them backwards, and it is against Barnstable. So, sure, their coaching staff over there, led by Ross Jacola, his second year, going to have a word or two there, and mostly with number 6, I think it was, for Barnstable.
And sometimes you make a physical mistake and just but that was just somebody looking for somebody to hit hard, and I think the quarterback might have even been out of bounds when the guy got hit.
Right,
so that
Arvanites is clearly, if not out of bounds, literally an inch away. So it'll be now a long first down, and now we have a stop and play as the refs will. Not sure exactly what's happening. I think they may be talking to. It looks like a spot discussion here. So it'll be first and long for the Red Raiders. Jordan in the backfield again, so clearly somebody to keep an eye on. And handoff is to Jordan again up the middle, and gains of maybe 2 as the clock ticks down. As 3:40 left in the first quarter.
Well, second about 12, and that's what Holliston wants to do is keep them. Now, obviously, right now, Barnstable, unless something else happens with a penalty, is probably in 4-down situation. But you want to keep them to 2-yard gains. That would be nice.
Senior Sean Keast, number 8, in on the tackle. And this is a run to the left, a little deception. And it looks like another flag down.
That looked like a holding against Barnstable. I saw that one from up here.
And it will be holding against Barnstable. So this will send them backwards. So penalties playing a role here. A great start for Barnstable on this drive, but getting killed by penalties.
Yeah, and then now you got second and really long.
So ball being casually spotted now all the way back to the Panther 44. So this is about a 2nd and 20 almost, maybe 2nd and 22 for Barnstable. Panthers trying to build some defensive momentum, capitalize on the penalties.
Yeah, and again, you're putting them in a position where they're going to have to maybe do something they don't want to do, like throw the ball.
So number 10, Burke in the backfield. Wilson, your quarterback.
Oh, there's another movement. There's another 5 yards.
3 straight penalties on 2 plays, on 2 snaps for the Red Raiders. And that's one thing you don't want to do in a game with 2 really powerful teams and highly ranked teams is beat yourself.
You're exactly right. It always comes down to this, penalties and turnovers, and in most sports,
Yeah, and penalties were a big issue for Holliston last week. They had over 80 yards of penalties, I think, on 6 different flags.
So 2nd and now 26. A rollout to the right, and then a handoff, and there's a fumble. Ball was on the ground, but recovered by the Red Raiders. That looks like number 76. That is Michael Fideli, the junior, who pounced on it, the lineman. So they tried some trickery there on 2nd and long and did not work.
See, right there, that's where speed affects you. When you're getting after the ball, we're always talking about how Holliston goes to the ball. What happened there was the quarterback saw the defender and put the ball too high in the air as a reaction to that. And that's what's going to happen is, if Holliston keeps going to the ball like that.
You almost get the sense that maybe the Panthers are in the coach's mind, and in the Barnstable coach's mind, trying a lot of trickery here, and haven't been gelling for them so far. So 3rd and extremely long, and now another stoppage in play. It looks like
it's 1:43 left to go in the first quarter.
Timeout on the field?
Yep.
Okay.
Timeout.
Missed that timeout on the field. So at the 1:43 mark of the first quarter, it's 7-zip Panthers, Jay. And your thoughts early on here?
Well, the thing is, Barnstable is moving backwards here on penalties, but they have been able to get some big plays. So they're not going to be too worried about this. If that was a young team over there or a team that didn't have any success early on, they'd maybe start getting in his mind. They have a little worry. They have no worry over there, because what they're saying is, the coach is telling them right now, boys, if we don't make these bad penalties, we would have probably had a touchdown by now. We're able to run on this team, and so just go out there and play our game. Holliston, on the other hand, is saying, okay, let's hold them to a situation where they have to punt.
So, as we said earlier, 3rd and long, ball marked just inside the 50-yard line. And again, number 10, Burke in the backfield. And it's a rollout left. Wilson looking deep. Ball is in the air, and it will be incomplete, no flag. So nice coverage on that by number 24, Gimlet, who seems to do – this kid's very impressive, the senior, and I know you've been watching him for a long time now, and he can do it all.
Good. First of all, good kid. But the other thing is, he's really good. He can do so many things athletically. A lot of times he's listed as an athlete, not a defensive back, because you can put him anywhere, defensively, offensively. Of course, he's on special teams. He's out there now to run back, I believe. But Holliston also put a lot of pressure on the quarterback that time. Wilson was under pressure when he threw the ball.
So nice punt, and it goes to Gimlet. He runs right, gets a block, cuts back to the middle, and he'll be tackled just across the 20, about the 22. So maybe gets about 5 there. And the Panthers, a little help from the penalties, but made some plays when they needed to and got the ball back, Jeff.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. As I said, what you want to, if they can go down here and score, you want that 2-possession lead on a team like this, especially as it gets later in the game. And you saw what happens when they have to go to a passing situation. They can do it. And once again, I will say that Wilson is an efficient passer so far this year is what he's done. Actually, he had a really nice long touchdown pass that got called back on a holding call. So he can do it, but they're not comfortable doing it. That's not something they want to do. And the other thing is, they probably didn't throw that ball against a defense like Holliston has with their speed back there.
Panthers take over, 1st and 10. Arvanitis with, I believe that's Ibbotson to his right. 2 wideouts left. That's Radcliffe and Ryan. Actually, 3 left. And it'll be a keeper by Arvanitis. Scampers for a few, maybe 2 or 3. So maybe 2nd and 7, somewhere around there as the clock approaches the 1-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, playing a little game down there with offense, defense, a little chess work down there. What they don't want to do is Holliston doesn't want their line to be able to get beat, so they're going to keep Arvanitis on the move to keep those defensive linemen thinking a little bit.
2nd down, Arvanitis drops back, and another keeper, huge hole to the right, but quickly closing up. And he is stood up there by number 44. That is Michael O'Shaughnessy, the junior. And a nice tackle. Looked like for a second he had a lot of real estate there to run, but that closed up quickly. He got swallowed up.
Yeah, the other thing is, that's your quarterback. That's your key, the linchpin of your offense right there. So, like I said, you can run him, you can do this and that. He's an exceptional athlete, but you just don't want him to get hit too often.
Fortunately, that was more of a power hug tackle than more of a hit there. But either way,
we'll take the hug.
Sure, it hurts. Yeah. So 3rd and about 1 here, long one for the Panthers as the quarter winding down now inside 10 seconds. Empty backfield, pitch to Ibbotson to the right. He's got the first down and more. And so the Panthers finish the first quarter with a nice, strong power run to the right side by senior captain Dylan Ibbotson, and that'll end the first quarter at 7-0 Panthers, Jay. And we talked about time of possession, and I don't have that in front of me, but I would say Panthers must have it 2-1 now.
Yeah, they've controlled the ball pretty well. Of course, the penalties, once again, killed Barnstable. But Holliston's really doing a good job of sticking to their game, playing their game. And at some point here, if they get a little, another 8 or 10 yards downfield here, I think what you might see is Coach Kiley starting to open it up a little bit and test that.
Time of possession a little closer than probably think. 6:47 for Holliston, 5:13 for Barnstable.
All right. Thanks, Los. So a little misleading there, I guess. And,
but the yardage is probably the thing that's quite a bit different.
And
again, total yards 74 for the Panthers, only 35 for Barnstable.
See, that's good. That's where you look at this defense and the Holliston defense. They get to Barnstable 35 yards in a quarter against their first team. This isn't a fourth quarter where everyone's got the other players in. That's a heck of a job by that defense.
No doubt, and again, size doesn't always matter here, even if the Panthers might be outweighed or in terms of height. But like you said, we got a strong group here who have worked hard in the offseason. I see those guys. I see the cars in the parking lot at 6 a.m. during the summer as I'm driving for my golf game, Jay. And I know those kids are in there working a lot harder than I am. That's for sure, and you can see it right now.
Well, I'll tell you the other thing that's gonna be an effect on this game when you're playing a team with that much size and everything. Those kids, those big kids. They're going to pretty soon, and the way this weather is, later in the game they may start sucking wind too. So
great point. So Panthers now in their war formation, and they've got in the backfield, I think that is number 9, Timmy Aylward, and probably a fullback role with Benson and Ibbotson. Ibbotson in motion, pitch to Ibbotson, running right, gets a block from Aylward as he scampers out to the left, and then tackled just across the 45. So a nice start there to this offensive drive.
See, right,
power run.
And right there, that wasn't an exceptional lot of yardage. But if you're going to teach a young back how to play, how to follow his blocks, that's exactly what Dylan did right there. He waited and waited. He had the patience to wait for that play to develop. Then when the guy came at him, he has the strength in that arm to be able to straight arm the guy, and he got a couple extra yards on that.
Nice wham block there by Aylward. Same formation now. Aylward, Ibbotson, and Benson in tight. Pitch to Benson, left side. Plenty of room. Cuts to the left wide. He's still on his feet. He's running over the 40. And then finally spun down inside the 40 at the 36-yard line, and there's a flag on the
something
field.
Happened here where the Barnstable kid just grabbed Arvanitis and threw him on the ground.
Flag, Jay, just thrown here for probably an unsportsmanlike of some sort.
Well, what happened was, like I said, the Barnstable player just grabbed Arvanitis and just threw him on the ground. I mean, the play was well by him and everything, and I'm not quite sure how this is going to end up, but that's now the flip side of that is that's the only part I saw. I didn't see the beginning of what started it, so this could be one of those offsetting penalty deals, but the problem is it's going to bring the play back unless it's both against them.
So the refs will consult here, and we'll have to see. That would be enough. The run itself would have been a first down, and they're talking about it right now.
Well, the run was definitely a first down. I mean, he got way out there, so that's not an issue, but
in a well-designed play again, in the Panther offensive line, led by number 74. That is Chris O'Connell, the senior, number 55.
So we have looks like
in the game.
A chop block against Holliston, unsportsmanlike conduct against who?
Coach Kiley at midfield trying to understand what is going on here too. So, Jay, it looks like what you saw did not get called. If Arvanitis.
No, that's what I said. It's hard up here in the booth. We're looking, trying to see. And now what I saw, but like I said, I didn't see what started all of that and everything. It looks like it was started by a chop block. So now it's Holliston that gets a couple penalties and sends Holliston way back.
And so I believe this will be second down.
It will be second, yep.
We'll just say, as we say here in New England, wicked long.
Yeah.
Yeah, second and 22. 11-minute mark here. Panthers up 7-0. So Arvanitis in the gun. That's Benson rolling out to his right. Arvanitis has a man. Oh, tough. Nice throw there and just off the hands of Gimlet, who usually catches everything.
Now, I'm trying to figure out here what they're doing with Barnstable. At first, it looks like to me like they're kind of playing a zone. And if they are, they're leaving a lot of space open in the middle of the field. So if they're doing that, what you want to do is you want to get it to one of your speed guys like Mitch Gimlet or one of those guys, get the ball to them and let them do the work of beating the players after that, because they're not playing up on these receivers at all. They're playing back pretty far.
Great observation, Jay. Under the 11-minute mark here, 3rd and 22 for Holliston.
They have one high safety out here. That's it.
And 3 wideouts right for the Panthers. Gimlet, Ryan, and it looks like that's number 3, Radcliffe. And here comes Arvanitis. And he fumbles the football. So a nice defensive play there by Barnstable. Nobody really open.
Yeah.
Arvanitis decided to run up the middle and maybe a little careless there. That arm was wide open, not in that claw hold that they teach the kids.
Well, one of the things you want to do, that was a mistake. He should have brought the ball in, but either throw the ball away and, live to punt, or just take off and don't. He was kind of looking, and that's one thing that he has great vision out there. Matt Arvanitis does, and he's trying to look over the whole field, but they were in a great position. Barnstable was.
Yeah, just that little bit of hesitation, Jay, like you said, that usually Arvanitis does not have, but that happens here with the young athletes here. And it's 10:45 left in the second quarter, 1st and 10 for Barnstable, and they're running left. This is the handoff, and he's got a lot of room. And nice downfield blocking, and a great tackle by number 11, Schneelock, as he was being blocked by the wideout down there. And that's a nice run there by Brian. That is Brian Fry.
Brian Fry, yeah.
I say that name, a senior captain for Barnstable. So
well, they've got some speed back there in the running back position,
in a 25-yard run there. So now Barnstable looking to capitalize on the Panther penalty and turnover. And they've got it first down, first and 10. Maybe 1st and goal, I'm not sure. And he stood up at the line of scrimmage. Couple of Panthers in on the tackle there of Jordan Mulvaney, the senior captain, in on that stop. And Kevin Lyon. So it'll be 2nd down. I think it is 2nd and goal.
Yep.
Which is a long 2nd and goal. That ball just inside the 10-yard line for Barnstable. Let's see, Jay, what the Panthers can do here in this goal line defense. Motion to the right. Fake handoff, quarterback keeper. He's running wide, and there's a couple flags down. I think it's going to come back.
That's not only coming back, that's coming back and going back, I believe.
So we won't even call that a touchdown because
holding,
clearly holding against Barnstable. So penalties playing a role here early, Jay.
Yep.
So it'll remain 2nd down, but that ball will come back. It looks like the ref is going to spot it at the 16-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 16.
That really hurts too, because taking points off the board, and you're in a 2nd down situation. You're still, obviously you're in 3 down here. Offense gonna stay there for 3 downs, but now you give your defense a little more space to operate.
And that's Barnstable's 5th penalty for 34 yards today.
Wow.
So let's see what this Panther D can do. On the line there is Affey and number 54 I see getting down there. That is the senior captain, Ryan Burchard. Handoff up the middle, and then brought down by a few Panthers.
Yeah, that looked like Fry again.
That was Fry, number 23. And the Panthers swallowed him up just inside just about the 12-yard line. So 3rd and goal now. Just approaching the 9-minute mark. Number 57, Rob Quinzani, the senior lineman, checks in for the Panthers.
Yeah, and this is the first kind of like test play of the game here. If Holliston can hold them here, and don't let them score, that'll be big. So you can't let them get too much yardage here.
Lone back is Eugene Jordan. Fake to him, fake again. Rolling out right is the quarterback looking in the end zone. It's a touchdown. That is caught for a touchdown by Barnstable.
Yeah, someone from Barnstable broke open going left to right in the end zone, broke open down there because there was pressure on Wilson.
That was Harry Landman, the senior, on the touchdown reception. So 7-6 now Panthers as Barnstable lines up for the extra point. Number 12, Will Cogswell, the senior kicker. Right-footed kicker lining up at the 8:35 mark.
I'll wait for a player here.
Here.
Let's see if the.
I mean, I'm not sure
he's
what
doing
the
time-wise
situation here. All right, the snap is a bad one, and it's bouncing. He tries to pick it up. He pitches. Oh, very dangerous there, Jay.
Yeah. Wow. No, here's another flag.
And another flag.
Well, you see, you can't do that. You can't tackle after the guy's gotten rid of the ball. He's 10 yards away. You can't grab him and tackle him. Holliston's going to be penalized here because of that. You have to be really careful. You have to think out there. You have to stay within your game. Stay within yourself,
And that looked like number 8 for Barnstable was just pushed to the ground in the back. That's their quarterback, Nick Wilson.
Now, the question is, I guess, do you want to half the distance to the goals from their placement? If not, do you get it on the kickoff?
So the refs are taking the football, and they will be, it looks like maybe kicking off. So it's still 7-6. Coach Kiley having a discussion with one of the referees.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a Holliston
no
penalty.
Doubt about it. I saw that too.
You can't get out there, and you gotta be smart in this game. You have. There's a mental aspect to the game. You can lift a lot of weights, and you should be doing that. You can run, you should be doing that. But you got to understand the game, and when you're in the game, you got to kind of control those emotions. It's hard, especially in football. It's such an emotional game anyway. But that's the difference sometimes between a good team and a great team.
So we've seen a little bit those major factors in a football game between two very good clubs is penalties.
Yep.
Controlling the emotions and turnovers. And we've seen a little bit of all that so far on both sides.
Both sides of the ball, that's right, both teams.
So 8:35 to go in the half. 7-6 Panthers.
Yeah, and you're in a position right here. You may want to make sure that there's no onside kick here.
And they are kicking off at the Panther 45-yard line. This is number 12, Cogswell, doing the kicking. This will be interesting to see how they play this, Jay. Maybe you're right.
I mean, I think with that defense and that offense, I'd give it a go at this point in the game. But maybe not.
So deep is Schneelock and Gimlet, but we're not quite sure the ball will be kicked there. And it looks like another flag on the field. And this is way down at the inside the 10-yard line of the Panthers.
Somebody said something, obviously, and here we go.
And now time being called by the refs as Kiley being consulted.
Appears to be a flag against the Holliston bench.
And so I'm not sure if it's the bench or some fans that have now said something. So emotions riding high everywhere. Now Coach Kiley having some words, moving some fans.
It might be the fans down there, yeah.
Yikes, that's the last thing you want in a big football game is to have your fans.
That's terrible, but at least it's not a player doing it where he might get thrown out of the game or something. They're going to wave the flag, I guess, or wave off the flag
Okay,
because.
So maybe more of a pause then.
Yeah.
They picked up the flag. Apparently was not a member of the coaching staff.
So the ball stays where it is. It'll be kicked from the Panther 45, and the Panthers have to be ready for anything here. 8:35 to go in the half. And it is kicked deep. It'll be fielded by Gimlet. He takes it to the middle. Has a little bit of room, stays on his feet, bounces out to the right, cuts it to the right, and here comes Mitch Gimlet. And out of bounds at the 36-yard line. What a fantastic run by Gimlet.
That's a nice job. That's a nice job following and blocking. He also had his foot was grabbed, his leg was grabbed. He just took great power in his legs, pulled that leg right out, and was able to scoot out and get quite a bit more yardage. That's a nice job getting them out of a really tough, potentially tough situation.
And that's really what your senior captains are there for, right?
That's right.
What you want out of them. That's a leadership play there by Gimlet. I know he's not thinking that in the moment. He's just trying to do the best he can to get some yardage. But that's a great example for the team here after some hot tempers and could have had terrible field position. And here they are right back in the game and on the field, too, and close to midfield at the 36.
You know, in both these teams now, the coaching staff is saying, guys, this is anybody's game right here. Let's go out and play our game and stop making mistakes.
So first down for the Panthers, 8:24 to go in the half. Arvanitis in the shotgun with Benson. And he keeps it. He gets a few and another penalty coming down.
Now this
from the backfield. It'll be a hold on Holliston.
Yep.
So the ref's calling a tight game. And this one we'll bring the ball back.
Well, so far, most of the penalties I've seen are penalties that had nothing to do with the play. I mean, that play was gone. It was by them, you know, just like on the last penalty that Holliston had. The play is over. The same thing that Barnstable did down on this end of the field, where the play was by him. The quarterback was out of bounds, and they hit the Holliston kid, and they get a penalty. I mean, these, you know, no penalty is a good penalty, but, you know, there's penalties for aggression, but these penalties just, there's no reason for these on either side of the ball.
Typically the coaches can live with physical mistakes. It's
absolutely
the mental mistakes that are challenging. So first and 20 now inside the 8-minute mark for the Panthers. Benson back with Arvanitis. 3 wideouts left, and Arvanitis looking left. He has a man. It's tipped and a catch. And this will be close to a first down and another.
Here comes another flag.
So that was a great play by, the ball was tipped there, and it was caught
so it's maybe
by, I believe, Radfcliffe, I think, was.
Yeah, maybe.
Radfcliffe, the junior.
Maybe a blocking the.
Excuse me, thank you, Los. Brian Gary, number 5, and this one coming back.
Well, it's going to be a block in the back, I believe.
So they're going to spot it or move it back from the point of the foul or where the play ended up. So still a gain there, but again, another penalty, Jay.
Yeah. Well, you know they're looking for him now. I mean, if you know they're looking for him, don't do it. Don't give him the extra 2 yards. Just don't do it. Take what you got there. But again, you know, we forget. We're up here in the booth, and it's easy for us to say, you know, and these are just kids, and they're excited. And both these teams want to prove that they're one of the best in the state. I mean, you're talking about 2 teams out here, literally, Brian, that could end up top 3 or 4 in the state the way they're playing.
No doubt, Jay. Big game here in the Commonwealth, and it's first and 12. So I guess they gave him the first down. Here's Arvanitis running left, and he's just going. No, he dipsy-doos. To pick up a little bit of yardage there. Looked like he was just going to take a knee, and he kind of went down but didn't go down and ran out of bounds. Clock ticking under 7 minutes now. So second down and 12.
After all of this that's happening, Holliston still has the lead, 7-6.
So a defensive matchup quite different than the football game we saw last week. And again, it just proves to you, Jay, that the good teams have to be versatile. They have to win any kind of way.
You have
They
to,
got to win a shootout. They've got to win a defensive struggle. So 7-6 under 7 minutes. Arvanitis empty backfield. Well, with Ibbotson to his right. Looking to pass, rolling out right. Got a lot of time. Looking deep. Ball is in the air. It's intercepted. And that is number 2, Logan Locascio, with the interception. So threw into some traffic there. There was a couple of Panthers, but well covered.
Yeah, I think that was one of the issues, was that there were 2 Panthers pretty close to each other. You don't want to run a route where you have 2 guys there, because then you get the 2 defensive backs, or if it's a zone, even more, back there with you. And that's what happened. Now, actually, there was the Holliston player was behind a little bit. That's a long pass for a high schooler. If the pass went a little bit longer, Holliston would have been in good shape. But you know what? It's as good as a punt at this point.
That's what I thought as well, Jay. And when the ball's in the air that long, too, gives guys time to get under it like a long fly ball to center field. But anyways, it's second, and it'll be 2nd and 10 there. Not much of a pickup there on first down for Barnstable. 6.5 to go.
Gain of 1.
7-6 Panthers. Ball is at the just inside the 30-yard line of Barnstable. And then Barnstable, it looks like they stick with this war formation. Motion left, motion right, handoff right to big number 10, Burke, and swallowed up.
That's just a great job of tackling. I mean, if you've never been down in the situation where you get big linemen like that pushing you in one direction and a big back coming at you like that, to be able to grab him and take him down like that, that's a great tackle. Great job by Holliston.
And a few Panthers in on that tackle. I saw number 21 Benson in on that one as well.
This is another one of those big plays now here with Holliston. If they can keep them, within a short play here, they'll get the ball right back.
3rd and 6 for Barnstable. 5.5 to go. Motion right, handoff.
Got him.
Motion left, handoff right.
Yep.
And looked like he had his feet moving, but then quickly.
Oh, another flag. And another flag.
Coming. So we'll see what the calls are here late in the play. Would have been 4th and 6, and we'll see what the call is. And it looks like it's going to go against the Panthers as the Barnstable side of the field is clapping. Referee's still consulting. So personal foul against Barnstable. Okay, so maybe I misread that.
No, you didn't misread it. He gave the wrong indication. In fact, the other side over there really started to cover. You were fine on that one.
Okay.
5:11 left to go. Now, when did that occur? Is it going to be? It's going to be 4th down. So after the play, so now they got to punt the ball from back here.
So 4th and very long. Ball spotted at the 21-yard line as the special teams units come onto the field. And it'll be Schneelock and Gimlet deep for Holliston.
It seemed like, and I don't blame them after last week's game, that were trying to kick away from Mitch Gimlet, but last time it went right to him. And Christian Schneelock, he's another one. He's no slouch.
Yeah.
He gets the ball in a good position. He's going to be gone.
There's some speed back there for sure. One of the Panthers' strengths. Clock ticking, 4.5
Too much time. Too much time. Now it's 5 yards further back.
Boy, this is a laundry detergent commercial here. As Carlos said earlier, laundry day on the field. Penalties left and right, so a little delay of game.
Well, what did they do? Oh, no, I guess they didn't move him back.
No, maybe not.
Flags come out and nothing happens.
What's happening. Here's the punt, and it's a low rolling bounce to Schneelock, who fields it, and he's met there quickly by number 21 for the Red Raiders. That's Nolan Arescu. So after all that, and now another penalty on the ground, on the flag on the ground.
This might be holding maybe against Holliston.
The play must have lasted 3 seconds, and that's hard to commit a penalty that quickly. I'm not sure what could have happened, so we'll find out.
It'll
be Panther ball either way, Jay.
One of your favorite boys, Tom Brady, sent a email out, or a text or whatever you guys call it, and he sent it out the other night about all the penalties in the game. His thing was let them play, and I don't know. You want to be fair about it. But are they looking for every little thing? But if it's a penalty, it's got to be a penalty, I guess. But this is really slowing the game way down.
Well, the problem in the NFL now is you can challenge penalties.
Yeah, that's right, Los.
So the call goes against Barnstable.
No, I think they no.
So we've got matching penalties. And these refs doing a lot of talking, and the Panther fans not happy with the way this game's being called.
Well, I don't get how they were holding, unless it was down there in the block, how Barnstable was holding.
So it will be Panther ball, I believe. Saw the referee point in the Panther towards where the Panthers will be going, Jay.
You get to the point at this point, if there's that much unsportsmanlike, I think what you have to do as a referee is say, my timeout, go to both benches, and you guys talk, your coaching staff, you talk to these guys. There's just too much going on out there that's unsportsmanlike. And as a ref, I believe you got to take control of the game and say, okay, these are kids. I said it earlier. These are kids. These are not pros. Bring them. Get your coaching staff together and say, that's it. We're not putting up with it anymore. And the next time they're going to be thrown out. So, tell your kids to behave out there, kind of, I guess you'd say.
Typically, that's when a player gets tossed out of the game. That's usually, unfortunately, when everybody starts behaving. But you don't want it to come to that.
Right.
And I agree with you, Jay. This could be a teachable moment here for players, coaches, and even the refs themselves to try to get control of this game because it does seem a little too much. But
I mean, the holding, I get the illegal blocks, I get all that stuff. I totally understand. And I even get the unsportsmanlike conduct. But if you get like 5 or 6 of them within a 3 or 4 minute period, let's get these guys together and find out what we're doing here.
Okay, so technically still Barnstable football, 4th and long. Looks like 4th and about maybe 10 or 11. They will be punting. Again, Gimlet and Schneelock deep. Number 5, that's Harry Landman doing the punting, and he gets one off. It'll bounce high. Gimlet fields it. He's quickly met and fights through. Great effort by Gimlet again. I mean, just another, I love seeing that. Just, maybe not always the smartest play at that time. You might just want to go down and retain possession, but I love the fight there.
Yep, exactly. Here's the deal on a thing like that, if you're Mitch Gimlet, is that's a field position play for him because I can let it, I know I'm going to get hit. As long as I don't fumble, if I let it go, it's going to go back maybe another 15 or 20 yards. I don't want to do that. I have the faith in myself that I won't fumble if I get hit. Nice job by Mitch on that.
Great point, Jay, about just getting position and stopping the momentum of that football back. Could go another 10 yards. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers. They are at their 36-yard line. 4:23 to go in the half. Panthers up 7-6. Motion right with Radcliffe. And looking right, Ryan, it looks like something interesting here.
Got him!
He's got him!
He got him!
And that is number 24, Mitchell Gimlet again.
Wow.
And what a play by Holliston.
I tell you, old Mitch Gimlet, he's probably thinking to himself, if I just could have kept myself. What a great call. Great call. Brought everybody over. What they did is they read that defense was coming up every time they circle that. Those safeties are coming up to make the tackle. There was nobody there. What a great read offensively by Coach Kiley and his staff.
And a fantastic grab by Gimlet. That ball was ahead of him.
It was.
And for him to even get, he bobbled a little bit and just to retain possession of that.
Yeah, I think Topher Ryan's going to go give Mitch maybe buy him an extra soda tonight or something. That was a great job.
That reminds me, you're not going to want to hear this, Jay, as a Cowboys fan. It reminds me of Lynn Swan there on the sidelines.
Yes.
I'm sorry to bring that up, but here we go. Panthers first down, exciting play. 3.5 to go in the half. Handoff left. Nope, Arvanitis keeping it. He's got room to the right and falls forward, maybe a gain of about 4.
See that they're doing a lot more of this run pass option this year. The Coach Kiley talked to us about this, and they're going to be doing that. It's a great thing, but and I know Matt Arvanitis is a tremendous competitor. He wants that ball in his hands, but boy, don't keep getting hit like that.
Yeah, right, Joe.
Give it to Tristan and Dylan and let them get hit.
And as we mentioned earlier, that it is hot out there. We know it's autumn, but down on the field. This field roasts.
It's very, very, very hot down there.
We don't want to wear Matt down too much, but
I'll talk about that in a minute after this.
Just about 2:40 to go in the half. It's 2nd and 3. They're calling that. So about a 7-yard run, and it's a handoff left to Gimlet. He crosses over the first down line. He's inside the 10, and it's 1st and goal for the Panthers.
Now we know that all these all these Saturdays are being played because of the Triple E virus and everything. But people say, well, why did they move this game from a 1 o'clock start to a 10 o'clock start? We asked Matt Baker, the athletic director here at Holliston, and he said that the trainer has this little like thermometer type thing that she reads. It takes in all kinds of different things of the different data and stuff from at the field and everything. And if it gets above a certain level, you're not allowed to play. The MIAA doesn't allow you to play. So they had to do this as early in the morning as possible.
So first and goal for the Panthers. They're marking the ball at the 8-yard line, just under 2 minutes to go. Arvanitis in the backfield. 2 wideouts left. It's a fake. He keeps it. He's running left, skips along the side to the sideline. He gains a couple. He's inside the 5, I believe. Maybe down to about the 3, Jay. Hard for me to see here.
Yeah, it's tough seeing all the way down there. And this isn't that bad, if they take a few more seconds off the clock before they score.
So timeout Barnstable. Ball being marked just at about the 2-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 2 from the 2. 1:44 to go. 7-6 Panthers. So, Jay, great point, too, about, maybe taking a little time off the clock if you can. I mean, you want to score. You want the points. You don't want to mess around.
Absolutely, yeah. Right.
The bonus is you can run a little clock down, prevent Barnstable from getting something in there before halftime.
And this is an interesting timeout because on the other side of the field, the question is as I told you earlier, that, you get these bigger boys, they're going to get tired a lot earlier in a situation with this much sun and this kind of heat down there. They're going to get, so I don't know if this is giving them a rest or if this is just an opportunity where the coaching staff saw something on the right side of their defense, which is on the left side of our offense, that's opening up down there. Maybe they saw something, they want to make an adjustment, but it looks more like it's something where they just want to, give them a blow, get some water in there, and get them back on the field. 1:44 left to go in this first half. Holliston leading 7-6, and they're down there.
So here come the Panthers looking to get on the board here. Looks like they're in their tight formation. Arvanitis, he's rolling out.
Oh, yeah, he's in.
And he's in for the touchdown. Actually, a handoff to Benson. Good play. See it, Tristan Benson with your Panther touchdown at the 138 mark, Jay.
And that's what I'm talking about with Matt Arvanitis. He's got that run-pass option, especially on a rollout like that. I mean, you get a guy like Tristan Benson, or even Dylan Ibbotson, you get those two great backs. You want to ride them, and that's what they're doing. Now, the other thing is, though, you put a little bit of thought in these guys' minds and on the other side of the field on the defense that, geez, Arvanitis might keep it and go, too. So
Mulvaney now for the extra point, the senior captain, 13-6. And the kick is up, and it is good. So Mulvaney caps that drive. And the play of the drive really was the, a pitch. You don't want to go, not a flea flicker, but a halfback wide receiver pass there by Topher Ryan, and a fantastic catch by Gimlin along the right side.
Oh, come on, it's a tight end pass.
Tight end pass.
Us old tight ends, tight ends got to get credit for something there, No, nice job. Now this is really important. This is a key part of the game right here, and I'll tell you why. Because Barnstable's going to get the ball in the second half. Okay, so you don't want them to have consecutive scores, obviously. So you want to stop them here, keep them as far back as possible. Let them, if they want to pass, let them pass or take time out, but don't let them score here. Then they get the ball to start the second half. Just don't want them to score here. And this is, once again, another Patriots. I can't believe I'm talking about the Patriots this much. But this is what they do. They score at the very end of the half, and then they come out and they get the ball again. That's a big morale boost for any team that's behind. 13-6, Holliston. 14-6, excuse me. Holliston in the lead. 1:38 left to go in the half.
Kickoff by Cotting, and this is fielded along the left side, close to us, and not much happening there as the Panthers are in on the hit. Number 12, one of the players there, that's Chris Del Ponte, the sophomore, in on the tackle, and took a little bit of a push after the play. I mean, again, you'd think these players would know with all these unsportsmanlike penalties to keep their hands to themselves, but anyways, not called there.
I don't think either one of us want to be in either one of these halftime locker rooms, because I think the coaching staff's really going to go at the kids and let them know, and rightfully so, as you said, it's a great teaching moment. You know, you can't lose your cool.
And it's, this is week 2.
Yep.
For the Panthers at least. So
this is week 2, but this is so big of a game for them, for both of these teams. It's a big, big game.
So 14-6 Panthers. The Red Raiders will start after the timeout by Holliston, who uses their final timeout of the half. So a quick break in the action, Jay, 14-6, and a couple of big offensive plays, but pretty much a defensive game here, a scoring ball game.
Yeah, it looks like most of the yardage in this game has been gained by the referees. But the thing here is now, this is I love trying to read this now, trying to anticipate what's going on the other side of the field. Are you gonna run the ball and just kind of run it out and get it over with? Are you gonna run and then call a timeout and see how the run goes? You're going to throw the ball. What are you going to do? And with literally 91 seconds left to go in the first half, it's always fun in football to kind of anticipate what's going to happen, what they're going to do here.
So speaking of a little bit of thinking like the coach, Coach Todd Kiley been here for 17 years, his 17th season, commanding the Panther football program, and he has a career record of 139 wins and 43 losses.
In this, I'm sorry, this kind of answers my question. Here they are, and they come out in a spread situation now. Barnstable does.
Yeah, something different than what we've been mostly seeing from them in that war formation. So
but they have good blocking and good running, so that doesn't preclude that they're going to run here. They're not going to run, I mean.
Wilson drops back. He's going to run up the middle. Look like a quarterback keeper, and great tackles there. Both Panthers in on the play. That's number 54, senior captain Ryan Bouchard. Ryan Burchard, excuse me. And they're going into a quick no-huddle offense here, Jay.
Yep.
Dropping back to pass on second down, close to the sideline.
Oh, that's great.
23 makes the reception, but that's number 3, Teddy Radcliffe, with a great one-on-one tackle.
Teddy Radcliffe did a great job. You know why? He kept him in bounds. And we have a player down here, so we'll take a timeout.
Okay, so it looked like a little cramping situation. That was Ryan Cahill, the senior.
And that's what you're going to get in a game situation like this, where you got to stay hydrated. You know what they tell you to do before a game like this? Drink pickle juice.
Right,
That's
I've
supposed
heard
to
that.
drink pickle juice. Okay, so once again, great job by Radcliffe to keep everything in play here. 58 seconds left to go in the first half.
It's 1st and 10. Panthers up 14-6. Wilson rolling right, looking right, has a man. The reception is made by number 6. That's Jadero France, the senior wideout, and he's got a first down at midfield.
Yep.
So, a lot of time left here, Jay. 47 seconds, plenty of time.
There is.
They're at right at midfield, actually. The ball being spotted right there at midfield.
Between the timeouts and the chance, you're on offense, so you can dictate what's going to happen here, and you want to keep the ball out of bounds. Get the ball, catch, and runner goes out of bounds, stop the clock.
First down and 10 for the Red Raiders.
Holliston's pressing now on defense.
And there's some pursuit there as Wilson just flips it up, and it's intercepted! It's intercepted by number 3, Teddy Radcliffe. And he returns it inside the 35-yard line, and again, they're kids, but a poor decision there to just flip that one up in the air, Jay. And there was Teddy again.
I'm not sure. I think that was, it looked like Tim Alward that got in there in the quarter. What a great job by that defense to get in the, and Timmy right there. Teddy right there.
And great, you're right. That was a team play there. The line really forced that, and yes, it was a bad decision to throw it, but he was pressured, and what made the bad decision was the pressure by the defense.
Right, and that's what I was getting at when I said they're pressing on when they come up and press the receivers like that. That means they're going to attack the quarterback. What a great job by defense. Nice call by Coach Athey.
And 36 seconds left. We got time for the Panthers to get in there as the ball is marked at the 37. Arvanitis drops back. He's looking right. He's got a man! Oh! He had Radcliffe over the middle and a nice defensive play. Panther fans not happy about it. It was there was contact when the ball arrived. It looked clean to me, Jay. But Nolan Ariscu, number 21 for Barnstable. Fortunately, Teddy got right up and is okay.
Tough. He's so tough. I love that. You know, the other thing right here, what you want to do is everyone's kind of excited, right? And everyone's getting into it, and it's my time like this. This is when you call a screen pass. This is when you let those guys come in and you call a screen pass and get it to, I guess Tristan's in there now, someone like him, and let him go and beat those defensive backs.
A little change of pace. 2nd and 10, 30 seconds to go in the half for the Panthers. Arvanitis drops back, steps up. Oh, ducks out of the hole. He's still running right, and he will just run out of bounds. And now a flag. Not a flag. Excuse me, just marking. So, well, either way, smart play. You didn't want to force a play there.
Right.
So whether he throws it out of bounds might have been the better play there. But again, you can't blame Arvanitis there. He at least ran out of bounds. The clock does stop as well with 17 seconds to go. Ball will be marked at the 42-yard line.
So here what you want to do is you want to get some kind of a quick pass, quick opener where you can get the ball out quickly. Either that or, like I said, a screenplay. The only thing is with 17 seconds, you got to get the ball down there.
But the last thing you want to do is turn this ball over.
Oh,
here,
you definitely
just in
do not
case.
want to do that.
Yeah, so want to at least maintain possession here for these last 17 seconds. Arvanitis, he's in shotgun on 3rd and 19 as he drops back. He's looking over the middle. He's got a man, and it's open. It's complete. And that is number 5, Brian Gary.
Yep.
It was the senior.
Timeout Holliston, and they got a first down. Looks like they got a first down on that, right?
It is very close, Jay. 7 seconds, so enough for an opportunity to get in the end zone.
Well, yeah, you have if you do it down and out, or if you catch the ball and drop right to the ground, you have time for 2 plays here. But you got to be smart about it. You got to tell the receiver, if you catch that ball, either be on the sideline and go out immediately, or drop and call timeout immediately. If you can do one of those things, that'll probably take 5 or 6 seconds, and you'll have another a shot at the end zone.
I'm not sure if they have a timeout at this point. I know they've called a few, or at least a couple. Hopefully they do have one more in the pocket for this half. So 7 seconds, 14-6 Panthers. They are calling this while they're measuring right now, so I guess we'll find out whether this is going to be a 4th down. I guess ultimately it doesn't matter much. And it is a first down.
I don't know why they measured. I told them 20 minutes ago it was a first down.
Yeah, why aren't they listening to you? So 7 seconds to go. Ball will be marked at the, looks like the 26 or so, maybe 27. And I'm wrong about that, 22-yard line, excuse me.
So you got 2 options here, a very quick play, or you got 1 shot into the end zone.
Arvanitis with Ibbotson in the backfield. 3 wideouts right for the Panthers, Ryan, Radcliffe, and Gimblett. Arvanitis looking at the middle. Is a play. That's Ibbotson across the middle. Dipsy-doos. He's still on his feet. He's fighting. It's not going to happen, though, as he goes down. And the half will end here at Comedian Field in Holliston between these 2 powerhouse Massachusetts football teams. The Panthers are ahead 14-7 here at the half. We will be back after halftime and ready for the 3rd quarter. Our halftime lowdown with Los. Los, give us some stats.
Thanks, Brian. The score at halftime, Holliston with an 8-point lead over the Barnstable Red Raiders, 14-6. 190 total yards of offense for Holliston, 106 for Barnstable. That's 113 yards passing, 77 yards rushing for the Panthers, 29 yards passing, 77 yards rushing for the Red Raiders. The big story of the first half is probably penalties. These 2 teams combining for 11 penalties, over 100 yards of penalty yardage, 106 yards. Holliston doing a good job on 3rd down. They're 3 of 5, and they're holding the Red Raiders to only 1 for 4 on 3rd down. So the Panthers getting it done on 3rd down on both offense and defense. For the Panthers, quarterback Matt Arvanitis is 5 of 9 for 72 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. There's also a pass completion in there from tight end Topher Ryan. It went for 41 yards. Leading rusher for the Panthers in the first half is also Matt Arvanitis. He's got 28 yards on 8 carries. Tristan Benson has another 26 yards, and Dylan Ibbotson chiming in with 14 yards. Leading receiver for the Panthers is Brian Gary. He's got 2 catches for 36 yards. Dylan Ibbotson has another 20 yards receiving, and Mitch Gimblett actually is the leading receiver. He's got 41 yards on 2 receptions. For Barnstable, quarterback Nick Wilson, 3 of 6 for 29 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Their leading rusher is Eugene Jordan. He's got 31 yards on 3 carries. The touchdown was to Harry Landman. He had a 12-yard touchdown reception. Defensively for the Panthers, leading all tacklers is Kevin Lyons. He had a great first half, 5 recorded tackles. Mitch Gimblett coming in the secondary with a very key pass breakup in the first half. And in the play of the game on defense, probably from Teddy Radcliffe, he had an interception that he returned for 13 yards. For more stats and information on the Holliston Panthers, you can follow us on Twitter at HCatFootball, and that's the lowdown.
Thanks, Los. And the teams are taking the field. 30 seconds left until we'll get this second half rolling. And Jay, had some exciting plays in the first half. Some penalties, as Los mentioned, but what are you looking for here in the second half between these 2 clubs?
Well, I tell you, we talked about kind of the keys to the game, I guess you might call it. One of the biggest key of all in my mind is having a 2-possession lead. So it's going to be really important. I think both these teams, in a game like this, a 1-possession game, neither team is going to be taken out of their offense or defense or their game plan. They're both going to stick to the game plan. So you're probably going to see a lot of running from Barnstable and Holliston trying using their speed to open it up. Holliston's defense has done a really good job. If they as long as they don't give them a short field or the turnover or anything, Holliston's going to be in pretty good shape.
So it'll be Nick Cotting, the sophomore, doing the kicking, and he boots one on the left side. It'll bounce at about the 25. It bounces around a little bit, and it's fielded by number 6 for Barnstable, and he is met there by Chris Del Ponte, number 12 on the tackle. Kevin Balowitz, the junior, number 14, in on the hit as well, with a couple of other Panthers. I also see number 8 in on the hit. That is Sean Keith, the senior. And the Red Raider offense will start. They'll take the ball beginning at about their 18-yard line. So good coverage there by the Panthers, Jay.
Yeah, what you're going to see here is you're going to probably the coaching staff got in there at halftime and said, let's get back to our game. We got plenty of time. There's nothing to worry about here. And they'll try and get back and start running the ball again.
So the Red Raiders going left to right now to start the half. Down 8. Fake pitch. Wilson drops, and there's a few Panthers there and a sack.
Yeah, well,
so great start by the Panthers. That's number 9, Timmy Aylward in on the hit. Along with, looks like that is number 51, who is David Harding, to take him down. So great start by the Panther, DJ.
Yeah, and that's why I don't play in the lottery tickets, because I told you they're going to come out and run the ball. Of course, he goes back and he goes to throw. So, but, once again, that's good news for Holliston. And Holliston, I love watching them put the pressure on this team. And if they're going to get out of their running game and play, that's going to play into Holliston's hand.
Second and long, and fumble, snap, it's on the ground.
That might be.
We'll see what
I think the quarterback might have fell down.
Looks like Barnstable, will retain possession, but still,
third down.
Panther fans like to see something like that. There's no gain and maybe a loss of 1 there, so third and really long here for the Red Raiders to start the half.
And this is where you say to your team, no penalties.
I'm sure, as you said earlier, that was a theme in the locker room at halftime by Coach Kiley and his staff. So third and long now for the Red Raiders. Motion right, handoff right to number 16. Lots of red shirts there to meet him, led by number 4, and that is Connor Mulvaney, the senior captain.
Tim Allyward and Tristan Benson did a nice job of turning that in. That's what you want to do and contain. Don't let them get outside. Turn them in and wait for the cavalry to come and finish them off. Beautifully played set of downs for Holliston right there.
Couldn't be better unless it was a turnover, and they'll be getting the ball back. And it's Schneelock and Gimblett deep just over midfield. should have decent field position as well here, but we'll see what happens with the punt. As the Barnstable Red Raider punter punts from about his 6. Decent punt. Gimlet fields it on the left side at midfield. He's got a little room, and then brought down at about the 43-yard line. So good play by Gimlet to receive the football, gain a few, and the Panthers will start with superb field position, Jay.
That's right. That's what you want to do as a punt returner. Just catch the ball, hold on to that ball, and just take it right down the field. And if you can break something, that's good. If not, you're not playing around back here and losing yardage. So nice job there by Mitch Gimlet. But what a job by that Holliston defense. And now this is where you say, if you're an offensive line coach like Coach Perry, you say, okay, boys, it's our turn. We're going to start it. We want to take over this game. Just like we did in that first drive in the first half, we want to come out and control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, great point, Jay. The offensive line on that first drive of the game was fantastic. So let's see what they can do here after a little rest at halftime. Great job by the Panther D. 9:47 to go in the third quarter. Arvanitis, handoff to Benson up the middle. Oh, he's got a hole, and he disappeared for a moment, Jay, and then exploded out, and he is quick.
Well, if you or I got that, those guys are big out there. We get in that thing, we disappear too. But no, that was a great job. Seeing once again, we talked about this a little earlier, how a running back like Benson or Ibbotson, they're so quick to the line that you don't need to hold your block. So a quick block, quick opener, they find it, they split in, and there you go, first down.
14-yard gain for Benson, clock ticking now. Under 9.5 minutes to go. 1st and 10 for the Panthers inside the 30-yard line. Arvanitis and Benson. And fake to Benson. Looking across the middle is a reception. And he's running to the right, and it's a Panther touchdown. That's number 8, the senior Sean Keast with the reception, and a beautiful play there. And the deception again, the play action, and great throw by Arvanitis. And almost confusion there with the Panthers.
It was funny. Teddy Radfcliffe went up. He thought the ball was to him, and he must have said, oh, whatever, it's over my head. And there it is. Holliston goes in for a touchdown.
So I guess right there, Teddy's lack of a huge size there coming into play there, because if he was any bigger, he might have tipped that ball. And the Panthers are on the board here. Extra point by Mulvaney is up, and it is good. So Panthers a near perfect start here to the second half, and they are up 21-6. You talked about a 2-score lead, Jay. There you go.
That's what you need, the 2-possession lead. Now if something happens, you can get the ball back and go back and score again. So that was really, really big. But what a great job. And, of course, once again, that offense, and we talked so much about that offense, but it was all keyed off of that defense, and what a great job they did. And the other thing that's going to happen here, and now you start anticipating what might or might not happen, because they're still in this ball game. Barnstable, they very easily come down and score quickly and get right back in this. But if they don't, and Holliston scores again, then Holliston can turn that defense loose and let those guys start coming in and making some plays on the quarterback. But for right now, what you want to do is, if anything, make them take some time off the clock, hold them, get that ball back.
And with that scoring pass, Matt Arvanitis at 100 yards even. He's 6 of 10. For 100 yards, 1 touchdown.
Not too bad there, throwing at 60%. And the other thing I like about this was the defense and offense not on the field very long.
Right.
So in this heat, and I heard from some fans at halftime, it's toasty down there in the stands and even hotter on the field. So the defense on and off quickly, offense on and off quickly, and a quick break. And here is the kickoff by Cotting, and number 6 goes wide right. He's got some room. And then eventually taken out by number 11. That's Christian Schneelock. So a nice return by Barnstable. Jay, you just said it. Barnstable not out of this game. There's a lot of, as my dad says in golf, early in the round, there's a lot of paper left. There's a lot of holes still left. It is the second half, but it's early. And only still a 21-6 lead, a 2-possession game.
Well, that was Ladaro France, and he does have a lot of speed. You really got to kind of watch him. Is a good receiver, too.
1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. Ball marked just at the 40-yard line in Red Raider territory. Tight formation with, that is Jordan in the backfield. Handoff goes left to number 23, who still on his feet, breaks a tackle, and he's running. And he's taken out of bounds eventually by number 4. That's Connor Mulvaney. looked like he wasn't going to get much, and kind of, like you said, he kind of got hidden in the pile there, and but then broke loose for a first down.
Right, and there again, is another thing we talked about early in the game. You got to tackle. You got to tackle correctly. Hold them, and don't let them get big gains.
Holliston injury update. I see Zach Athey on the bench with crutches and his uniform off, so he's out of the game. And another run left by Jordan, and he gains about 6 or 7. So the ground game for Barnstable, that was their strength. As we heard coming into this game, all the scouting reports talked about the big offensive line and the smash mouth style of football, and they're getting some room on that left side.
Yeah, and that's the issue. I mean, we did talk a lot about that, but they're not using those two big guys. They're right in the middle of that offensive line. They're not using them. They're not going there. They're going outside to get this yardage.
2nd and 4, I believe here. Fake pitch, quarterback keeper Wilson running right. Some Panthers there. Nice tackle from behind by Tristan Benson.
Tristan Benson turned the corner, and he was absolutely unblocked. He came down, and the question was, would he catch him? And I guess I should never question Tristan's speed. He did catch him. That's a nice job.
So that prevents a first down gain, maybe a gain of a couple. It's going to be 3rd and short, maybe a long yard here for Barnstable. Under 8 minutes to go. 21-6 Panthers. Big number 10 in the backfield. He gets the carry up the middle. He looks like he got the first down, but it's going to be close. Burke, I'm not sure. He was up high. And,
I think what he did, he stretched. I think he got it. They're going to give it to him. That's a good call by the refs right there. He did a nice job of getting that ball across the line.
And that is a first down as Burke comes off the field and does his job there as a fullback.
And see, that's one of the few times they've really taken it up the middle with those two big guys, and then of course the Burke, the big back out there, and but they only got a yard, so Coach Kiley will take that every time if you're going to be going up the middle of the field like that.
Under 7.5 to go, third quarter. Pitch running left to Jordan.
Nice
and
stretch.
He slides down and does not get much there. He's met by number 4. Again, that's Mulvaney on the tackle.
Yeah, what Connor did right there is he came up, not only was able to help contain him, turn him in, but make the tackle too. Nicely done by Connor, and short gain for Barnstable.
So I almost felt a breeze, Jay. Maybe a slight breeze there, but as soon as I say that, it stops, of course. It's hot down on that field, even though it is September 21st. Handoff left and gets a few and a flag down. So our first flag of the second half. That was number 23, Brian Fry on the carry.
Looks like this is it's false start against Barnstable.
So this will bring the ball back. They'll replay the down. So it'll be 1st and 14 for Barnstable. 6:49 to go. Panthers up 21 seconds. Second and 14. Thank you.
6:47 left to go in the third quarter. Holliston up 21-6.
So first penalty of the second half goes against Barnstable.
All right, 2nd and 14. It's marked at the 33.
Here they come, the Red Raiders breaking the huddle with Burke in the backfield, number 10. Panthers in tight, roll out right. A nice read by Ibbotson to contain an interception. It's picked up by Mitch Gimblett. Great job in the backfield there as Ibbotson was right in and putting pressure on and kind of forced that throw. Go ahead, Jay.
Perfectly said, Brian. That's exactly what happened. He put the pressure on him. And we talked about how sometimes these running teams, it's not that Wilson's a bad quarterback, it's just that the whole team is uncomfortable because they don't play. It's not something they do all the time. And being able to play like that and then throwing it, that defensive backfield today is really playing well. Teddy Radcliffe with the first interception, and now Mitch Gimblett with interception. And now you come to this point in the game where Holliston's saying, if we can drive, if we can get it down there, get that other score, get up to 3 possessions, we could be in pretty good shape. Still a lot of time left with 6:17 left to go in the third quarter. So.
Yeah, and as you said, Wilson, he's a first-year starter. They only threw the ball 11 times last week. So here we go with the Panthers. Not much happening, and a fumble. I think the handoff was to Ibbotson up the middle. he did not get much, and the ball kind of came loose and fortunately rolled right back to Arvanitis. So that'll bring the line of scrimmage backwards. Clock still ticking under the 6-minute mark in the third quarter. Team looking over to Coach Kiley for the play.
You know, one of the great things about Holliston is they are so loaded with so much skill position talent and some good blocking up front that something like this doesn't really affect them that much. They can make that up in the next play.
Arvanitis with Ibbotson in the backfield. Arvanitis drops back, looks across the middle. It's incomplete to number 3. That's Teddy Radcliffe.
Yeah, Teddy was coming across, and it looked like he kind of stopped maybe a little bit, and I think Matt was throwing the ball as if Teddy was going to continue going.
So this will be 3rd and now long for the Panthers. They are back. The ball is marked inside just about the 22-23-yard line for Holliston. So 3rd and long. Clock stopped at 5:25. Panthers up by 15 points, 21-6. Arvanitis with 3 receivers to his right. Drops back, looks right, has a man. It's Gimlet, and he's trying to fight for that first down. It's going to be close.
You got some thinking to do here, but I'll tell you right now, if they don't make that, and it looks like they might have, if they don't, I guarantee you we're going for it on 4th down. But it looks like they might have made it the way it's being marked here.
One official already has his left hand
pointing,
and it's a first down for the Panthers. So big play, Jay, on 3rd and long.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. With Holliston, they have the ability to go and get 15 or 16 yards on a just an average play for them.
And the seniors leading the team again here with a big play there. That was Arvanitis to Gimlet. So 1st and 10. Clock under 5 minutes in the third quarter. Ball marked just shy of the 40-yard line.
This is where you get in a situation here where Coach Kiley might start to run the ball a little bit more.
Benson in the backfield. Three now to Arvanitis' left as he's taking his time
10
at
seconds.
the line of scrimmage. So maybe starting to work the clock a little here early in the third quarter, mid-third quarter. Here's Benson up the middle. He's still on his feet, and there he goes for a first down and more. Wow, Benson really explodes there, doesn't he?
He really does, and they come up. That safety now has saved a couple touchdowns from him, from Tristan, with his tackling and everything. But they're going to start running, and it's really too early to play the clock game per se. But you still don't want to be throwing incompletions and stopping the clock now. There's 4:09 left to go in the third quarter.
54 yards for Tristan Benson so far in this game, averaging 6.8 yards a carry.
Wow, great yards per carry there, and that was a 14-yarder.
And, he's a long breakaway touchdown just waiting to happen every time he touches the ball, Tristan Benson is.
He's alone in the backfield with Arvanitis. 3 wideouts left, one to Arvanitis' right. And it's a handoff to Benson as he slides right, gains about maybe 5. So productive first down for the Panthers. Again, clock still moving.
And again, that offensive line, is now starting to take a little bit of control again. And that's what you want to do. I kept saying this game is going to be won or lost at the line of scrimmage, and Holliston's offensive line right now is doing pretty good. And that, and you get a guy, Tristan Benson, comes out, has a couple nice plays. You say take him out, give him a blow, and who you get in there? Dylan Ibbotson.
That's right.
I mean, come on, it's almost unfair.
Great versatility for the Panthers. 2nd and 5 now at the 3-minute mark of the third quarter. This quarter going by quite fast. Handoff. Nope, it isn't a handoff. It's a pass left to Brian Gary. He's got some room to run. And he's got a first down for Holliston. So, again, great play-action fake to Ibbotson, and Gary with the reception.
Yeah,
and he's got a good set of hands. And for a wrestler, I hear he's a pretty darn good wrestler. This kid can play some football, and he's quick.
He's more than a darn good wrestler. He's special as a wrestler. Well, one of the things now that Coach Kiley's done, you kind of group them in, and they'll start coming in a little bit. Then you open it up. Now they got to think about that, moving back. Now you open up your running game a little bit. You run plays a lot of times. When you run plays, you run them in sets of plays that'll allow you to do different things and make the defense react to you differently, and then you react off of their reaction.
So clock now approaching the 2-minute mark. Ibbotson to Arvanitis' right. And he keeps it. Arvanitis, nothing happening there, as boy did Barnstable read that one. That was number 5, Harry Landman, the senior captain, who was not fooled at all that time. And now the ref running over and talking to Matt.
They ran a 2-man blitz right there. They ran it right up the middle, and that's something that Matt can see quickly. But they just really put the pressure on Holliston there and putting 4 men on 3 in the middle of the offensive line.
So that was a loss of 3 there, maybe 4, second and long for the Panthers, up 15, 21-6. Arvanitis with Ibbotson. Gary wide out left.
Showing blitz again.
Arvanitis taking his time at the line of scrimmage. It's a fake rollout right. He's got room to run, and he's going to keep it. And nice gain there for Arvanitis. Maybe a gain of close to 10 on that one. It'll still be 3rd down, but now a much more manageable 3rd down, Jay. And it looks like we have a player down on the field for Barnstable, one of their linemen. So there'll be a break here in the action, Jay, but a great read. Nice play action, and they fell for it that time. And maybe, like you said, the Barnstable's defense looks like a little over anxious right now, and they're going for that fake.
Well, see, they're watching this clock tick. I mean, there's 1:10 left in this quarter, right? And then you get the last quarter. The problem is that they're saying now is that even if we get the ball and score, we can't let Holliston keep getting the ball back. Now if Holliston scores, obviously, it's going to be a whole different story. But you're going to get a little anxious about that. So they're going to do things now that they didn't have to do before. One of the things you can do is obviously you can blitz. You can come in and blitz. Well, they did one very successfully, and they sacked Matt. But then, Holliston saw that, they read that, and get the ball out to the outside, and that's the way it works. That's what I'm telling you is that you a lot of times you talk about 2 ways to play defense. You can attack or you can read and react. Well, you can do the same thing on offense. You can attack or read or react, and that's what Holliston's doing now. Is Matt's reading and reacting to what that defense is giving him, and he's taking it.
And one of the bonuses of having such an athletic quarterback like Matt Arvanitis, who can do everything, has a golden arm and has legs to run.
And the best thing he has, he's got that. He's so intelligent. And, he can read that, and Coach Kiley can trust that he's going to make the right reads because he just has tremendous confidence in Matt. You talk to Coach Kiley about Matt Arvanitis, and, we know the physical tools, but he'll tell you, the first thing he'll say is he's such a smart player.
And that lineman that was down for Barnstable is number 68. That's Alex Saladino, the senior captain. And he is walking off the field. So
Alex Saladino, my prediction is going to be playing Saturdays next year for somebody up on the college level.
No doubt has the size, so maybe a little bit of a break for Holliston to get him off the field. Not that we ever want to see anybody injured, but it'll be 3rd and a long 3, it looks like, for the Panthers. Ball marked at the 26-yard line of Barnstable. So Panthers near the red zone. This would be a big first down to get, Jay, at this point in the game.
Yeah, and you can do whatever you want here because you get another down after this.
Yeah, 4-down territory here. Clock under a minute now in the 3rd quarter. Handoff is to Benson. Nothing happening there as Barnstable just swallowed him up, and no room to go there for Tristan Benson. Almost called him Cedric Benson by accident there, the great late running back for the Cincinnati Bengals. So it'll be 4th down now for Holliston, as it looks like Kiley's going to bring his crew over. And as they're going to run the quarter out here as the clock ticks down, 15 seconds to go. So Kiley, a good choice here, I think. With a lead like this, heat, a big play here coming up with 4th down. No need to rush it, Jay.
Well, what you're doing here now is you're saying, okay, so now we get you in the 4th quarter. We got a 2-possession lead. And, obviously you want to keep scoring. This game is not over. And if anyone thinks it is, they're nuts. This game is not over yet. So what you want to do is if you can get this first down, and even if you don't score, if you get 4 more downs and get that clock running, and again, it's too early. I keep saying the clock, and I'm not saying that they should be running their offense based on clock management at this point. But you also want to be smart about it. Take the full 30 seconds or whatever it is when you're playing, and you can tell what you do is you look at the judge in the defensive backfield, and once he puts his hand up, that means you have 10 seconds left to play. So the quarterback knows exactly how much time he has to call the play and get it going.
So let's reset things here, Jay. It's 21-6 Panthers as the final 12 minutes will begin very shortly here in the fourth quarter here at Committee and Field on this toasty September afternoon here in Holliston. Actually, are we even in afternoon yet? It's just about noon. So toasty morning here and a beautiful fall day. And the Panthers playing a very good game, and like to see the adjustment at halftime too, Jay. We had, I think, maybe one penalty, and it was something minor infraction. We have not had any of the other personal foul or conduct fouls.
And no unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's a credit to both coaching staffs.
So 4th and 4 for the Panthers. Arvanitis in shotgun, 3 wideouts left. Drops back. And there it is over the middle. Is it enough? Oh, it's a fumble. It's a takeaway by number 10. And he is tough to bring down.
Yeah.
That is Burke. He just kind of ripped it out of the hands of, I'm not sure, I think that was Topher Ryan, number 2. And on that 4th down play, I'm not sure he had enough. It was going to be close. So Burke makes a big play for Barnstable, and Benson eventually was able to wrangle him down.
Yeah, that's one of those calls they call now, that new name for that is sudden change. When you get an interception or a turnover like that, and it is a sudden change right now. And so you put your defense back on the field and say, make them drive. If anything, make them drive that ball.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. They have the ball at their own 48-yard line. And Panther D has had kind of a nice break in this second half. They've not been on the field much, and let's hope that they are ready to go here and come up with some big plays and a stop. I'm sure Coach Athey has a nice game plan here for this final quarter of the game. Wilson drops back to pass. There's some pressure. He throws it right. Number 23 makes a nice move to get away from a tackler. He's still on his feet, running down the left side, and eventually hit out of bounds by number 8, Sean Keast. And he really made something out of nothing there, Jay.
He did. We got a couple players down for Holliston. Allywad's back up, Timmy Allywad.
So we have a Panther down. That's number 50, I think 56 is Ryan Cahill, the senior, and he is being helped off the field. Well, and they're ready to play this game while this poor Ryan Cahill is getting helped off the field. And finally, the refs tell them to slow down a little bit.
He had cramped up earlier. Hopefully, that's all it is.
So 1st and 10 for Barnstable. Run to the left.
Oh, nice job.
Not much there. Good tackles there by number 32 for Holliston. That was Kevin Lyons, who's had himself a nice football game today, leading the tackling for the Panthers in the first half. Short gain for the Red Raiders, 2nd and 8 at the 11-11 mark. Fourth quarter, 21-6 Panthers.
Kevin Lyons, 6th recorded tackle of the game.
Kevin's playing a heck of a ball game out there, and like I said earlier, these are the type of kids you got to really wrap and bring down. You can't fool around with kids on this team from the backs.
Motion to the left, and it's a run right. Handoff to number 2. That is Luke Locascio, the senior. He gains a few, actually more than a few, as this will be 3rd down now and maybe a couple.
Well, what had happened there is they finally ran the middle of the field, and they ran a few cross bucks or whatever you call them now, and he ran right off guard, and that's where their strength is in that line, is off guard.
So 3rd and very short. Wilson hands off left. And
what a great play.
Wow, that was number 22, senior captain Dylan Ibbotson, who was being blocked, fought through it, and dove and tripped up the running back there.
And how big is that play? That's 4th down now.
And a loss of yardage.
He had that end was wide open. What a great play. On the ground, a man on top of him, and he makes a tackle.
So Ibbotson, big stop there, and hopefully the Panthers can capitalize now. 4th and 3, and it looks like a timeout called by Barnstable. So Ibbotson, again, we've said this a few times today, Jay. The senior captains are leading the charge today so far. With leadership plays, fighting through blocks, physical, not giving up, all those things you want from your seniors.
And you don't know what's going to happen right this minute, but if they hold them here on 4th down, that's going to be one of the plays of the game, and that's something you don't see in the, you'll see a tackle. Oh, he made a tackle, but what a great job that was of making that tackle.
That's a great point, Jay. It just looks like a tackle in the on the stat sheet, but what a big play that was, and could be even bigger depending upon what happens next.
And the other thing is you see now is, of course, 4th down, the other sideline over Barnstable. They're at a point where it's not panic yet, but they know that if they don't score on this drive and they get the ball back to Holliston, their situation might be starting to get a little desperate. So they want to do everything they can and make sure that they do everything right on this play to get a 1st down.
Some of your Panthers on defense on the field: 56, Cahill. 54, that's Burchard. And among others now, as Barnstable comes back onto the field, Kevin Balowitz on the field too. Number 14 as well. Number 8, Sean Keast, of course. So 4th down and 3. Here we go, Jay. And an offside by number 32. That is Kevin Lyons, just a little over anxious, and a big break for Barnstable.
Well, what he did in his defense is he read the man in motion. The man in motion pulled back, and I think he read that as the lineman moving back. But still, they still didn't score. So, and Kevin has played a heck of a game.
No doubt. So 1st and 10 for Barnstable. 9:38 to go in the 4th quarter. Panthers with a 15-point lead, but the Red Raiders approaching the red zone. Actually, ball right, technically on the red zone at the 20. Motion to the right, fake handoff, quarterback keeper up the middle, and gets about maybe 7-8 yards. A nice run there by Wilson. And that's going to be actually more like 9 yards. It looks like it'll be 2nd and short.
And see, that's what Wilson do. He can pass out of that spread offense, but he can also run. He's had a couple good runs today.
So 2nd and short, and Barnstable, a little urgency now, coming up to the line quickly, handoff left, and he will have the first fumble. The ball's on the ground.
Looks like Holliston. Did he get it back?
Wow,
Ooh.
That ball just bounced.
Oh, he did get it back.
Right back to number 23. That is Brian Fry, and number 56 for the Panthers. That's Ryan Cahill on the tackle. So good to see him back in the game as he was walked off a moment. So 1st and goal now. And there'll be a stoppage in play. Timeout, Holliston. So, you can feel the pace of the game changing right now, Jay, as Barnstable is picking up the pace, and maybe a good timeout here by Coach Kiley to slow things down a little bit.
Right, 8:47, I believe, left to go in this ball game, and what they want to do is they want to talk to their guys. They want to give them a rest, but the last thing they want to do is allow Barnstable to get out there and score quickly here.
So timeout on the field, as Coach Kiley tries to maybe control a little bit of momentum here as he's talking to his players. And the score right now, 21-6, Holliston. But the Barnstable Red Raiders threatening, but a great football game.
I mean, this second half is what you expect to see the whole game, and the whole game wasn't really clean in the first half. I mean, Holliston got off to a nice 14-6 lead, but and they've held this team. I mean, there's just 8 minutes left in this game, and Barnstable's only scored 6 points. This is a team that beat Zavarian,
You're right, Jay. No doubt about it. This team does know how to win so far at 2-0 this season. Handoff up the middle, and he did not get in. as there's a big scrum there at about the 5-yard line. Maybe call it the 4. And that was Jordan, I believe, on the handoff. So met there by a number of Panthers. And again, Barnstable with this quick offense as they're down 2 scores and threatening here. It's 2nd and 1. Ball marked at about the 6. Excuse me, about the 2-yard line. And quarterback keeper, is he going to get in? Oh, he does get in. I thought maybe number 11, Schneelock, was going to get him before, but no, he's in for the touchdown. So 21-12 now, Panthers. And
now there's a question here is, okay, what are we going to do? I think they're going to have to go for 2 probably here, would be my guess.
A 9-point lead for the Panthers. An extra point makes it a 1-score game. And it looks like they're going for 2 here with Jordan in the backfield. Let's see what Wilson and his team can do here. Motion right. Wilson rolling right. There's a Panther. There's a couple of Panthers there. Ball's in the air. It's intercepted.
This can run back.
And there he goes, number 51.
Oh!
Wow, a great tackle from behind. And he really took a swing at him, and there's the flag. As that Coach Alfie right on top of that one. Number 51, that is David Harding with a nice interception on the 2-point conversion. And it looks like a penalty on a little extra arm motion there in the tackle. As the refs are now consulting. So 21-12, 8:07 to go in the 4th. They're talking about the late flag that came down on the tackle of Harding. And
this year they can't run the extra point back.
yeah, in hindsight, maybe the extra point.
They're picking the
flag up. It looks like they are going to pick the flag up.
Yep.
And Coach Kiley going to question why the flag was being picked up. So either way, nice stop there by the Panthers. That would have been a 21-14 game, but it's back to 21-12, which is a 2-possession game, Joe.
Yep.
8:07 to go.
Well, you have to go for 2 at some point, and I know the thought is always you go for 2 at the end. You take the 1 point and go, but we don't know how his kicking situation is. I mean, this isn't the pros or college or anything. Maybe he doesn't have that kind of faith in his kicker. Maybe he's had off days or whatever, and he said, well, we got to go for 2, and if we miss it, we'll go for 2 next time. And because if they went for 1 and they missed it, they're in the same boat. So at least if you go for 2 and you make it, you're only the 1 possession down.
So no penalty. The flag was picked up, so the Red Raiders will kick off from their 40. And deep for your Panthers is Gimlet and Schneelock.
And this is interesting lineup here. I mean, if they're 2 possessions, so I guess they're going to maybe try an onside kick. I don't know.
Panthers do seem to be ready for it. They've got a tight formation as well. Number 12, and it will be an onside kick, and goes right to, and that is and the Panthers do a great job. It's number 4, Connor Mulvaney. I mean, you couldn't have picked a better guy to kick it to, right, Jay?
Not me. There's a lot of them down there who you can't kick it to.
So the senior knew what to do with that one.
So here's a situation now that I get you kind of have to do it. I don't blame him. I think if I was coach, I might have done the same thing. But now the problem is you're giving Holliston a short field. It'll be devastating if Holliston scores again.
No
you
doubt.
got to eat up that clock and don't let them score again.
So 21-12, 8:07 to go in the 4th quarter. Panthers take over just at midfield. Short field for them.
And once again, this is where you want you got to talk to your offensive line and say, guys, you got to do it for us again. You've had a great game today. You've done a great job against this team. You got to do it again.
Panthers in their war formation. Arvanitis takes the snap. It's a pitch to Ibbotson up the middle, maybe a gain of 1. But gets the clock rolling. Under 8 minutes now. 2nd and long. 2nd and about 9.
Yep, still a little bit early to play the clock game, but it is nice that the clock keeps going. You really got to get a couple of first downs here before the clock game gets serious.
Panthers in Red Raider territory, taking their time. And again, war formation for your Panthers with Benson and Ibbotson. Second and 9, handoff to Benson, running left, cuts through, still on his feet, and he'll get about 5 yards. So it'll be third and about 4 or so for the Panthers. Ball will be marked inside the 45-yard line. And third down, Jay. What do you think here?
Well,
third and 4.
Here's what you're thinking. You're thinking, this is probably not 4-down territory, unless we really get very close to the first down marker. So you want to give yourself a chance to get the first down. You don't want to play it too coy and try and just run the clock here. You want to get that first down. That would be big. I mean, right now 6:40 left to go in this ball game.
Third and 4, and a timeout.
Yeah,
Holliston.
Because again, just as Barnstable had taken a timeout before they scored their touchdown down there, where they had that fourth down. These are the plays in the game where you really got to be sure everybody's on the same page, reading from the same page of the book, and everybody does what needs to be done.
So Coach Kiley assembling his offense at midfield with his coaching staff and, of course, some of the younger football players in Holliston who serve the important role as water boys.
Especially today.
The varsity, yeah, no doubt. They've got 5 kids out there. As much water as they can handle. I think they're each double-fisted. So a break here in the action, 6:35 to go. It's 21-12 Panthers. This has been a gritty football game, Jay.
Well, this is a game, both these teams are learning a lot out of this game. And, the person coming out of this game with a win is really going to get a big bump. But the person coming out of this game is not going to be terrifically hurt, a person who loses, because both these teams are going to go into their leagues, and both of them have a really good shot of doing very well in league play and getting into the playoffs. But this is a type of thing where you want to, kind of test everybody and see how we react to different things.
Third and 4. Let's see what the Panthers do here. It's a pitch to Benson running left, and Barnstable not having any of it as they just said no. And Benson wrestled down by the Red Raiders, and a loss there. So interesting to see now what Coach Kiley decides to do.
Well, you got
Jay probably got a punt here.
You definitely have to punt at this point in the game.
It'll be third, and actually you're right. They're actually marking the ball still at the 47-yard line.
I mean,
so 4th and 6, maybe 4th and 5, 4th and 6 here. The punt team coming on.
The only other thing is if you had some fake punt play that you wanted to run or something, But I would kick it away, tackle them, and make them drive the field.
I agree with you, Jay. We'll see what happens. Topher Ryan, the senior, into punt, and he is going to punt. Oh, it is. I think the Red Raider got a finger on it. This ball's going to bounce and happens to hit number 10 on the coverage, Noah Salem, and that ball might have bounced a little bit further into Red Raider territory, but that's a big play by their special teams to get a hand on that.
Yeah, it's Colin Maslevy, I believe, kind of come up and hit that ball. I'm sure, because if you saw the way that ball went up in the air, it was spinning like it did get hit. 5:29 left to go in this ball game.
And that's a big play there for Barnstable. A good kick there by Topher and good coverage there. They could have been back towards their 20. Now great field position for the Red Raiders. Time for the Panther D to step up. Let's see what the boys in red can do here as there's a clock issue. And the refs will stop as the clock is being reset to 5:36 in the fourth quarter. It is now reset. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders.
What you got to do, going to go right back to what we said at the beginning of this ball game. You have to do a good job of tackling here. If they get 3 or 4 yards, that's okay. If they march down the field 3 or 4 yards at a whack, that's okay. You just can't have any big plays.
So 5:32 is what they're setting the clock to. 5.5 to go. Fourth quarter. Panthers up 9. Drop back to pass. He's looking deep. He's one-on-one coverage. And they made the play. Wow.
Well,
What a throw and what a catch by number 6. That is Jadaro France.
That's the guy. That's the speed guy. That's the guy that they, Holliston kind of knew that he has a lot of speed, and you want to watch him.
And that is number 11, Christian Schneelock, who is down on the field. He was the man on the coverage. He had some tight coverage there, too. It was very good coverage, just
that was a
great
heck
throw and great play, great catch.
That was a heck of a throw. That was really special, that throw. He put it right into a real small window.
So Panther down here. Clock stopped at 5:23. The ball is marked at the 20, so that's a gain of about 32 yards or so.
And you can see, and that's what I was saying, if you make them go 3 or 4 yards a play, you're in kind of good shape. You're still gonna come down. I mean, Holliston, I still believe, has to come down and score again. But if you give up a couple long plays like that, they're right back in this ball game.
Game far from over.
Right. And the other thing is we talked about taking them out of their comfort zone a little bit, but I said to you, but he's an efficient passer. He may not pass a lot, but he's an efficient passer. And when he does pass, he does okay. And boy, that was a beautiful, beautiful throw. And he was well covered, as you said too, Brian.
So Schneelock is walking off the field with some assistance, which is a good sign. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders at the 20, at the Holliston 20.
So what they're going to do now is, if they're going to throw the ball, they know that Christian's out of the game. They're going to see if they can attack that side. But now they're back in a situation where they can run the ball now. They don't, there's a lot of options now.
All right, Panther D, time to step up. 1st and 10. And quarterback keep it to the right side. Some Holliston Panthers are there, and it's a big sack. And led by number 22, that is Ibbotson. 56 in there, Cahill. And might have been number 9 also in there, Timmy Aylward. So that's a big play by the Panther D, and changes a little momentum there and moves the football back about almost 6 yards, Jay.
Yeah, and the clock now is at 4:50, and it's funny how they're not in that hurry-up mode that they were in earlier.
So 2nd and long for the Red Raiders. Roll out right. Panthers there. Another sack.
Well,
wow, and that was number, I think it's 14, Kevin Balowitz, the junior, coming from behind there to wrestle down Luke Wilson on the play, Nick Wilson.
Coach Athey knows I'm going to say this, too, because we always talk about this whenever I talk to him, is that he knows how I love to be aggressive and love to shoot those things. And they're in a situation now where you can let these kids be aggressive and just go after the quarterback.
So that sends the line of scrimmage back even more. It'll be 3rd and 20. 4:31 is what they're trying to set the clock to. They're going to put 2 seconds back on the clock. 3rd and long. So Coach Athey and Coach Kiley out talking to their defense. We've said this a few times today. Another big play today. Another big play right now, Jay, coming up.
Yep. Well, you see, this is a lot of times what I've seen them do today when they need the play is if they put their quarterback Wilson in a spread formation and then let him make up his mind whether he wants to throw the ball or he wants to run it himself. That's what they've done in these situations. I'm not sure they're going to do it here or not, but they're certainly not going to run the ball out of their regular formation here because you can't keep eating up your timeouts either.
That's right.
So I'm looking for Wilson to be the spread formation and back in that backfield by himself.
And while they don't throw a lot, he's proved he can do it.
He can
do
it.
No doubt. Again, going back to the first play of this drive on the 32-yard game. So it's 3rd and long, 4:31 to go. Panthers up 9.
But he is keeping it back in, and that may be for blocking.
2 wideouts left, 2 wideouts right. Wilson, here comes pressure, and he sees a lot of room up the middle. He's got a lot of room to run. He's going to have a first down and more. And wow, big play by Nick Wilson. As Panther pressure there, he read it, stepped up in the pocket, and had a lot of room up the middle. So big first down.
They put the ball in his hands, and he's done a good job. He's taken his offense right down this field.
And a quick snap and a spike there on 1st and goal to stop the clock. So perhaps they wanted to change their personnel. You don't see that often with 4 minutes to go in a football game, even though they are down 2 scores.
I mean, you're at a point now where your whole offense, you can do anything in your offense now. You can run, you can throw, you can do whatever you want. So to waste it down like that is kind of – but, you know, these coaches know their teams better than we do, so there's probably a reason that they want to do that. They may have seen something or whatever, and they're probably trying to save their timeouts for when Holliston has the ball.
2nd and goal. And a flag on the field. I think they had 12 men on the field. So that is, well, I'm going to wait till the call here. Yep, it will go against Barnstable. So, boy, you know, as a coach and a fan, you call the timeout or the spike in that case, and then a delay of game or too many men on the field. That hurts. And hopefully the Panthers can capitalize on that. So that'll send the ball back 5 yards.
Well, they're at a point now where they're saying that the 5 yards they're thinking it's only going to help us more in the passing game because it's going to give Holliston more of the field to defend.
So Jordan in the backfield with Wilson. 2 wideouts on either side. Motion left. Wilson looking left. Steps up in the pocket. And he'll be tripped up just about the 10-yard line. That's number 9. That's Timmy Aylward. Having himself a great second half today, the junior Aylward.
Timmy has really played very well in both these games. He's done a really nice job, and he's asked to go up against some big boys down there, and he has really done what he's needed to do. 3:50 left to go in this game.
3rd and goal from the 10. Wilson drops back, looking over the right side. Nobody there. Looked like maybe a miscommunication on that play as the receiver, number 6, that was France, was still running to the corner, and the throw went short just about the goal line. So 4th and 10.
Yeah, and France is their guy. You want to make sure you don't want France to beat you, and you want to have some kind of maybe 2 spies on Wilson.
So interesting strategy here. Do they attempt, not knowing the field goal situation with Barnstable? Looks like they're going to call a timeout to talk this over. 3:43 to go. 4th and goal from the 10.
You would think
it would be a 27-yarder. Go ahead, Jay.
Right. You would think if they had a kicker who they had faith in that could make a 27-yard field goal, they would have kicked the point. I mean, I'm just guessing.
Right.
You know, they might have said that but it would be if they have a kicker, it would be a great move for them because then they'll put them down that one possession. The other thing is here, you know, everyone's looking at the offense. What are they going to do with it? Well, you got to look at the defense too. What are they going to do? Are you going to play back? You're going to put a couple guys in the end zone so you don't get beat. You know, obviously you want to just knock the ball down if it comes to you too. But how are you going to do it? Are you going to pressure him? I mean, maybe from the outside pressure him, keep somebody in the middle so if he takes off and he runs like he does in the middle, he doesn't have the ability to do that. You got a lot to think about on defense here too, just as you do on offense.
Great point. Both sides of the field always important.
By the way, what a great game.
Fantastic football game on this gorgeous Saturday now afternoon. So this play will tell us a lot about the rest of the game here. At 3:43, it's 4th and goal. And Red Raiders going for it. Wilson drops back to pass. Looking to the corner. It's incomplete, and a flag is down. We'll have to see what the call is. There was a couple of Panthers down in that area. And everybody here holding their breath, waiting to see the call. And it's gonna go against the Panthers.
Wow. What a play by the captain, Ryan Burchard, too. What a great job.
So the ball now marked at the 5-yard line. I believe an automatic first down.
They have fourth down.
Nope.
They have fourth down on the marker.
Nope. Still fourth down, I guess. Okay, not sure exactly what the call was.
I guess they didn't make the first down.
So 4th and goal from the 5. Wilson drops back, pressure, screen, and it's a touchdown. So a nice delay screen there, and that was number 23. That is Brian Fry, who gets the score. So 21-18 now. Big penalty there against Holliston, and Barnstable coach is upset about the clock. And there's a break on the field, and there's some confusion about the clock. Now the clock is running. So we have a little bit of confusion here with the clock. It ruling on the field was a touchdown by the Red Raiders as they work out the clock situation. They're going to, we'll see what they do with the 2-point conversion or the extra point. Going to assume they're going to go for 2. But, Jay, this game, you know, I have a feeling far from over, even though there's just 3 minutes left, about 3 minutes left.
Not only far from over, but this could end up being the most exciting 3 minutes of this game. I mean, I give Barnstable a lot of credit. They came down, and that quarterback, Nick Wilson, has played a heck of a game. You know, we come in hearing about the great running game and the great offensive line, and they do have some, you know, good players in it. But, boy, Wilson has really done a great job here.
So they are going to attempt the extra point. It's number 12, Will Cogswell, the senior. They're marking the clock is at 3:31. And the kick is up. It's blocked. It's no good. And so, looked like it was blocked by number 51. David Harding was in there and might have took it right in the stomach.
Now,
so, Panthers up 3.
Yeah, here's the story now. Holliston only needs a touchdown now. They don't need to, if they miss their extra point or anything, it doesn't matter because it's going to, if Holliston can score a touchdown, it's going to be a 2-possession game. The other thing is, Holliston only needs a touchdown, so even if they give up the ball and Barnstable should come back down and score again, Holliston still only needs a touchdown to win this game.
So, the stage is set for some drama here on this Saturday afternoon here at Comedian Field. 21-18 Panthers, 3:31 to go. Panthers will be receiving the ball on the kick from the 40-yard line.
Yeah, you like football. You're loving this game. This game is this is really special, and two really good teams, well-coached teams going at each other right here. This is you can't beat this for a high school football game.
And nice adjustment again, as we said at halftime, with a lot of the unsportsmanlike stuff not happening. Here's Gimlet running right to the middle, gets a block, cuts back to the middle, and he'll be taken down just in front of just shy of the 40-yard line.
Right.
And about the 37, 38-yard line is where the Panthers will start, so decent field position for them, Jay.
Now you go back to the spike of the ball down at the other end, and how that saved them a timeout. You know, they're going to use their timeouts now when Holliston has the ball because they can control the clock when they have the ball. So Holliston is in the situation here where they're going to call timeouts quickly, and then if they do, now you're in a situation where you don't have to score, you just have to make some first downs.
You're right, Jay. At the
but
time,
easier said than done.
Right. And at the time, we were somewhat questioning that spike, and you're right. Worked in their favor. So here are the Panthers, led by the senior, Arvanitis. Motion right, handoff right. Ibbotson finds a little bit of room, and he gets about 6 yards. Nice run, maybe 7 by Dylan Ibbotson.
Yeah, but even more importantly, he stayed in bounds.
Stayed in bounds. Clock is still winding, approaching the 3-minute mark. So it'll be second and about 3 for the Panthers.
Yeah, you'll have plenty of time, and if you want to know when they're going to snap the ball, I don't know if you can see it, but you just look at the judge behind the defense. When he raises his hand up, that means there's 10 seconds left. So they got a while before they have to snap this ball.
Panthers in their war formation. It's Benson and Ibbotson on the sides. And here's Benson. Benson cuts up the middle, a little bit of left. He carries the pile. And what an effort for a first down by Tristan Benson. Big first down there by the Panthers. And Tristan, what an effort, Jay, carrying a number of players with him on his back.
Great job with Tristan. And I think there's Topher Ryan that was in there, too, helping. Was it Topher? Yeah, it might have been him in there helping him out. That's a huge first down for Holliston. Now the clock just keeps going, 2:16, 2:15.
Panthers up 3. With the ball marked just inside Raider territory, Red Raider territory.
But what you want to do now is you don't want to have any penalties. You want to keep going.
Here come the Panthers, 1st and 10, and a whistle.
Yep, they're in motion. Holliston was in motion, I believe.
This will go against
false
the start against the Panthers. So just what you were saying, Jay, don't want penalties.
You don't want to do that. You can take it down when he raises his hand. That's fine, but you don't want to take it down to the last minute because you want your play to develop.
So that'll make it 1st and 15 for Holliston. Ball moves back to about the 45-yard line. And timeout on the field by the referees.
These two teams today have combined for 16 penalties for 131 yards.
Yikes.
Yeah, and that's after having a pretty clean third quarter,
So, not sure exactly what they're talking about here, but 145. Ball marked at the Panther 45.
1st and 15 from the 45.
I don't know, Jay. That ball was originally marked over midfield, and now it's barely at the 45-yard line. It almost seems like they went back almost 6 yards.
Well, I think at this point, it's really about how that clock management is going to be done on the Barnstable side of the field. Because right now there's 105 seconds left to go in this ball game, and Holliston with a 3-point lead and the ball and a first down.
First down essential. Not sure how many timeouts Barnstable has left. I think 2. I could be wrong.
Looks like 1.
So, again, confusion here. Kylie talking to one of the refs. Not sure what the confusion is.
I think, I think at this point, if you're on the Holliston side of the field, forget the clock. Focus on your job. Focus on what you have to do. Hold on to that ball and run this clock down.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of distractions off the field in this game with the refs and the time. It's 1:55 now to go in the game. And there's a fumble, and it's recovered by, well, we're going to see now there's a late scrum. Wow. We're going to wait and see what the official ruling is, but it looks like it's going to be Red Raider ball.
Holliston.
Wow, and Holliston somehow recovers. Thank goodness I was wrong. Boy, oh boy, that was a big recovery. Not a good play. The clock is winding down.
Yeah, now, again, that's what I mean, Brian. You really got to stay focused. In fact, you got to take everything out of your mind and just, what is my job? Just stay focused on it. Let that clock roll.
Jay, you're absolutely right. The mental aspect of the game coming into play here, and some fatigue, I'm sure, with the heat as well as having a factor. But a lot of stoppages and discussions in this game, and you're right, the players need to stay focused here. So 2nd and long, 2nd and 15 for Arvanitis and the Panthers. Handoff running right. That is Ibbotson. Ibbotson still on his feet. The flag.
No, this is coming back. I don't know how many timeouts.
And excuse me, that was 24. That was Gimlet on the carry. My bad. Go ahead, Jay.
I don't know how many timeouts Barnstable has, but depending on how many they have, if it's only like maybe 1 or something, with all this stuff happening, you might want to say take a knee. Take a knee a couple times. Make him use that timeout. Then you get another 30 seconds off the clock. Then you punt the ball and let your defense go on the field and give them the few seconds to play. The last thing you want to do is have, stuff go wrong with you here. And and keep moving backwards because that's giving them a shorter field when you go to punt.
Yeah, so 2 penalties on this on this current drive, I should say. It's holding against Holliston. It's declined.
Yep, because they want the down.
So they would rather it be 3rd down now and long. It'll be 3rd and about 14, and now the refs again are going to gather and discuss.
See, that's a smart move by Barnstable because we want the down. We don't want, that's another 30 seconds or whatever, 30, 35 seconds, whatever it is, they can come off the clock. And there's just right now it shows 1 minute left here.
And it's still long either way.
Yep.
So even if they decline the penalty, it's still 3rd and 14.
Exactly.
So clock has stopped at a minute. We're going to assume that's the right time. 21-18 Panthers. This is a nail biter coming down to the end here.
I mean,
and so now the refs want a 104 on the clock. So they want 4 seconds put back.
And did they call a timeout over there? If not, then that clock should stop running, right? Unless they call a timeout.
Not sure why the time has stopped.
They must have called a timeout.
And it's 3rd and long. Here come the Panthers. Big play in this football game. 4th quarter. It's a pitch to Benson. Running left. Got a little bit of room. Still on his feet. He breaks one. And there goes Benson down the sideline. He's out of bounds, and it's a Panther 1st down, and now a late flag.
Flags everywhere.
2 flags down late. What a fantastic run by Benson. We'll have to see what the flags are.
Well, it was after
maybe a late hit. He looked out of bounds, but that's way far away.
It was
from
after
us.
the run, so it's not going to matter because with 55 seconds now, you can take a knee 3 times and go home with a mammoth win.
Wow, what a run and what a call by Coach Kyle and his staff to run that football. Even though, yes, you want the clock to run, and that makes sense, but what execution there by the Panthers. And the offensive line really creating that space for Tristan and allowing him to use his explosiveness to get to that sideline.
Holliston has it 1st and 10.
Big play, and the Holliston fans a humongous sigh of relief here on the sidelines. You can feel the energy now has picked up, and still have to execute, Jay. 55 seconds left.
You really do.
Anything can happen here. But, wow, what a big run by Tristan Benson and his offensive crew. So the late hit will bring the ball all the way down inside the red zone. And the line of scrimmage will be it looks like just inside the 10, maybe right at the 10-yard line. So 55 seconds to go. 4th quarter. And they'll take a knee. So Arvanitis takes a knee. And the players are congratulating each other, and the opposite teams are high-fiving. And this is going to do it, Jay, as the Holliston Panthers will come away from this exciting football contest today with a humongous victory and a move to 2-0, and they have taken down one of the beasts of Massachusetts, Jay.
Absolutely.
What a football game.
What a great job. Well, this is a situation we're coming into the game with a couple of things we talked about. One of the things was tackling, which they really did a good job for most of the game. A lot of tackling. They made they got a couple turnovers on a couple of the interceptions, and they had, they did have the penalties, and that hurts, and they got to go clean that up. You really got to clean that up because you can't let that kill you in another game later on this year. But they did that, and then of course talking about the having the extra possession. That's what I mean. It's so big in a game like this to get that extra possession and take them out of their game so they don't feel comfortable. And it really worked out well. Holliston did a nice job. Offense, greatly played. Defense, sensational. I mean, that's 18 points for one of the top teams in the state. And special teams, they did the job when they had to. Some big catches on the onside kicks and everything. And what a great job, all 3 phases of the game. coaching staff did a great job. These kids are well prepared, and boy, did they deliver.
And Jay, you're right about they changed the way Barnstable likes to play. Usually Barnstable a big running team, and they forced them to pass. And give their quarterback credit for Barnstable. He really delivered and made some big plays for them. But it's your Holliston Panthers who came up even bigger, and we've got we got a final low slowdown in a few moments coming up with some final statistics.
One other thing I'd like personally, what I'd like to say is, I hope this team, Barnstable, goes and wins their division, their state title. I like the way they're coached. I like the way they play. I mean, it's got a little chippy here and there, but I really love the way that quarterback Wilson plays.
No doubt about it. And let's go to Los. He's ready for the final low slowdown of the game. Carlos?
All right, thanks, Brian. The final score, a thriller from Committee and Field. Panthers come away with the victory, 21-18 over Barnstable. Just a crazy game in terms of the stats. 16 first downs for Holliston, 12 for Barnstable. So both offenses kind of getting it in gear, at least in the second half. 319 total yards of offense for the Panthers, 243 for Barnstable. This 171 yards passing, 148 yards rushing for Holliston, 93 yards passing, 150 yards rushing for Barnstable. 3 sacks for the Panthers in this one. Another 2 tackles for loss to go with those 3 sacks. So 5 total tackles for loss. Just a great game by that defensive line on the Holliston Panthers. Again, penalties were a big part of this game. 17 total penalties between both teams, 8 for Holliston, 9 for Barnstable. That's 146 yards of penalties combined from both teams. Holliston was 5 of 9 on third down conversions today. They held Barnstable to only 3 of 9 on third down. And then time of possession, Barnstable kind of owned the time of possession in the second half. They came away with this from this game with an overall time of possession of 21 minutes to 14 minutes and change for the Panthers. For Holliston, quarterback Matt Arvanitis had a pretty good game, 9 of 14 for 130 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Topher Ryan also had a 41-yard pass completion in the first half. Getting it done on the ground was Tristan Benson, 89 yards on 14 carries, including a big touchdown carry. Matt Arvanitis also had a touchdown rush to go along with 21 yards on the ground. Dylan Emmetson, 22 hard-fought yards on 4 carries. Leading receivers for the Panthers, Brian Gary, he had 3 catches for 50 yards. Mitch Gimlett had 2 catches for 57 yards. And then Sean Keast had 28 yards and a touchdown on this day. For the Barnstable Red Raiders, quarterback Nick Wilson was 6 of 12 for 93 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Their main rushers were Brian Free, 57 yards, and Eugene Jordan, who had 41 yards. Nick Wilson also had a touchdown carry in this game. Defensively for the Panthers, Kevin Lyons leading the way. He had 7 total tackles in this game, and then 3 players with interceptions. Mitch Gimlett, Teddy Radcliffe, David Harding had an interception on a 2-point conversion. For more stats and information on the Holliston Panthers, you can follow us on Twitter at HCatFootball, and that's the lowdown.
Thank you, Los. I'd also like to thank everyone watching us today on streaming live video. Next week, the game will be on Saturday, which will be Saturday the 28th. We'll be playing Medfield. Right now, tentatively, that's going to be a 3 o'clock start. If you can get down here, get down here. If you can't, we'd love to have you join us on HCat TV. I want a big thank you today to Bruce Guilfoy for setting all this stuff up and doing the big camera up there down on the field. Christian Boudet and Owen Radfcliffe done a nice job down there. And Brian Winston, 2-0. You've defeated the guy in the biggest team, one of the biggest team in the States. You're unbelievable. You're going right to the Broadcaster Hall of Fame.
That's right. I won't take any of the credit, but Jay, it was a fantastic game. What an exciting game to call, and having a thrill doing this with you.
That's great. We'll see you next week. Right now, look at that scoreboard. Holliston 21, Barnstable 18. Big win, but a great game by both teams. Good night, everyone.